appreciate your work. We appreciate you all. My name is Patricia Mario, you all know. I'm going to be the presenter, and we have a couple other presenters in this 2021, our biannual in-service. I will be the first presenter, and Silent Gilmer is one of our intake and scheduler supervisor. We have Ms. Olabisi Dayo, she's also an intake coordinator scheduler. Omolara Odunlami, she is the pediatric admin and department head, so she actually works with us all the time. And Ms. Olaiton Enzo, which is our payroll, the money person. So we all are included in this presenter. We all going to be presenting, and we'll let you know as it goes along. The nursing agenda that we're going to be covering, and as fast as we can, it's going to be part one will be the code of conduct, house rules, POC, and role of the CNA, because we do have a couple CNAs among us. Training, respiratory distress, that's the big one, the trachea, that's the big one right there. Medication error, not too much of a TPN safety. We do TPN, we are nurses, we are trained to be a TPN, so this agency doesn't have a TPN patient so far. But what we do, we will go further into it. Documentation, access, email, ETA, and supply. This I know nothing new to you guys. We all talk about it all the time, but we have new nurses among us that I would like to kind of like let them understand how it goes. Scheduling, rules, and communication. HR role, credentialing, and payroll rules and payroll regulation. Critical issues in pediatric private duties. Trust me, that is the bigger one right there that we're going to be talking about. Yes, please. Code of conduct. We all know we all have to be very professional in our work. Very professional. I mean, I understand that we have to keep good rapport when we get to the homes of a patient, but we want to be seen professional. When I come to your house like this, or you're supposed to be the patient, you're going to think I'm a doctor. Because I know you all are coming this morning, I have to put my jacket on, right? For you to know how professional I can be. But if I go to someone's home with a tank top, and I'm supposed to be the nurse taking care of your child, automatically I'm going to go, what happened? Where we work is a place of work. How are you? It's nice to see you. You go to the house and they will like, the mom will just call the agency. Your nurse is over here wearing a tank top. I don't know, I got my man in the back. I got that. It becomes a problem. But when you go in there with your uniform, your scrub, to me personally, when I go to the house, I wear scrubs. I wear my scrubs, that tells you I'm a nurse and I'm here to do my work. But when you go there looking all sexy, it's warm outside, you know what, I can't go with your shirt and all that. Come on now, what are we doing? That's not professional enough. And I know we don't do that, but that's part of the things we need to say to our nurses during in-service. So please, let's be professional. No call, no show. It's ground for immediate termination, of course. I don't wish to terminate nurses. We don't terminate nurses, because nurses are very, very, very important to us. It's actually, without a nurse, you can move on. Without a patient, you can move on. So you want to call off. Come on, put us into consideration. We're human beings. We call all the nurses. We call, oh, Miss Shola, can you help me cover this place? The nurse call us, she can work tomorrow. Miss Shola, now it's okay, but I can call Miss Shola 2 minutes or 2 hours to the time of your shift and say, Miss Shola, can you cover? No, I can't. You didn't tell me. You should have told me before. I will help you to cover, but I can't go now. You say, but if you work with us and say, you know what, I do have a funeral to go to. I don't think I'll be able to make it. Can you find a nurse to cover me? Let's just communicate. Communication is very important. That's why, because you have to understand, we are out for business. We are a profitable organization. At the same time, giving care to our staff, our patients. So guess what? We actually need you guys, and you need us too. Because I'll be the third person looking for patient for you. Whereby, when I get a patient, I give it to you. You keep the patient, but guess what? If we don't work together, we lose that client. And it's not good for business. So please, let's keep that in mind. Work with us. We have 4 hours, at least 4 hours to call up. Or if you know your appointment is fast, you call us before. Then just help us out and we can work together. 4 hours call up, like I said, 4 hours call up. Off shift, or if you know ahead of time, if you know you can work tomorrow, at least 6:30 p.m., let us know. 2 weeks notification prior to the day of request. You want to go on vacation. I'm going on vacation in July. It's been 2 months to the time that I'm leaving. I've already requested so that they can make a plan for them to put someone who's going to be covering You understand? In my own situation, maybe I'm going to be working while I'm on vacation. It's okay. I don't mind because the work can go on. You understand? But then at least I gave them a heads of time for them to know, and I'm willing to kind of train someone that will be able to take my position while I'm. When you go to the home and the patient you're taking care of, mom has a boyfriend who pointed a gun at, who's talking about gun? Honey, I don't expect you to even call me. Find a way to get out. I don't expect no nurse when your license is being threatened. You go to the house, your license is being threatened in any way. Oh, you do this to my child. You know the mother is just trying all her way to get you in trouble. Honey, I don't need that kind of money. You can call agency and say, from tomorrow I'm no longer going to go to this house. This is what's going on. But not just for anything. When your license is not threatened, your life is not threatened, it's just the mama just talking, or the father is just talking, they're just talking, they know, oh, you put your, they are nitpicking. Nitpicking is not a ground to leave a case. You can leave the case, but all you need to do is just give us 2 weeks notice. I can't stand the mom's nitpicking. You know what, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. You're giving us opportunity to find another nurse for that case. But when you just, I'm not going tomorrow no more, you're just cutting our relationship. We'd love to work with you, but no matter how much a nurse is good, no matter how good you are, when you put us in that situation, I'll say goodbye too. Like, it's okay, it's one of those things. It's okay, we don't have to work together. There's a bunch of agencies out there. But please, let's just put that in mind, that let's work together. It's very, very important. Let's work together. It's very easy thing to do. Clocking in on access. Okay. Clocking in and clocking out. I know most of us know. Majority of the nurses say they clock in, they clock out. Even the CNAs, they do know how to clock in and clock out. And you all have been doing a great job on that. But the thing about this is, some nurses are late. Trust me, we've been in this, we've been in this business. We all know. Nurses, we're supposed to be scheduled 7 to 7. Now you showed us 7:20. Then you say, oh, I can't punch in. I've been standing here, I can't punch in. It's this, it's that. I'm going to take, then some of nurses they don't even call. Because the ground is you need to call immediately. When you can't punch in, of course it's a man-made computer. If you cannot clock in, you call. Silent, Patricia, whatever, test us. I can say, okay, you know, why don't you FaceTime me? Let me see what's going on. It could just be something you're doing wrong. We will help you to do it. But if I realize that I'm on the phone with you at that time and you are not able to clock in and we can resolve it, then we have to give you the permission to go ahead and have the mom to sign you. Now you just call me at the next day. Oh, you know, I wasn't able to clock in yesterday, so I asked the mom to sign, and I'm going to send it. I've been allowing it. Moving forward, as of this moment, we are no longer going to accept that any longer. We will not. You have to call us. You have to get clarification. Then we know for sure you have an issue. Because this is what's going on. They do not pay us as fast as possible. When we request for payment, after you work, of course we have to pay you for the work you've done. But after we send our paperwork in, and they take them for too long to pay the paperwork signatures. But with the one on access, it's fast. So put us in. We're a profitable organization. We do not want to pay you now and don't get paid till 6 months. It will not. It's not fair. So I want to bring that out to nurses to please try. If you are the only one on the case, of course you have the opportunity to punch in 7:20. We already agreed with mom. Mom said, okay, well, you called already. I'm running late. Right? Okay, mom knows that. So you got there late. You're the only one on that case, 7:20. You can clock at 7:20 p.m. There's nobody coming behind you. The only time you have an issue is when you have another nurse that is scheduled behind you. Because that nurse is there 7 o'clock. That nurse got to go clock in. So I'm sorry you came in late. You're going to have to clock in at 7 o'clock. That's all that is. But if you're the only one on the case, why not? Or maybe there's no other nurse coming the next morning or the next evening. There's no other nurse. But still, you still need to get clarification about that too. Let us know. Because guess what? You came in at 7. That's another issue. You came in at 7 o'clock. Then you stay till 7:30. That's extra 30 minutes, right? It's okay. But get permission. Because guess what? That patient might not have enough allocation to cover that 30 minutes. Maybe we have other nurses on that case who already exhausted the money. If you're working more than the 12 hours that you were scheduled, you won't be paid. You're just going to be paid for the 12 hours. Unless we know about it. Oh, it's okay. You can go ahead. Just get permission. It's very simple. Get permission. Let's count. We will calculate right away. Somebody called up last time. We still got money. It's okay. You can stay till 1 hour, 2 hours. It's okay. Right? That's all you need to do. Just get communication. It's still all that is. what to do if family child not there. Okay, what to do if when they're not there, there's nothing you can do. DSCC says, don't walk, the clock starts when you receive that child. The nurses that are clocking in their car outside, hey, I'm not gonna say don't do it, but when that problem comes, you will have to be responsible for it, because it's not. When I see the child I'm walking with, my clock starts right there. So when I get to the house, I'm scheduled 7 to 7. I get to the house, they open the door, I see the child, I clock myself in before talking to anybody. Some nurses will call, oh, I can't do anything, no, I can't charge, I can't do it, I can't even clock in. But when I get there, mommy is busy. I mean, this is your time. Okay, we understand that too. Maybe it's an emergency. You clock in, you let us know ahead of time, we will approve it. Okay, you were there at your time. But this particular one, if the child is not there, maybe you go to work, you're supposed to work 3 o'clock, and mom went to the store, didn't come back, still got the child, right? You can call and let us know. We, Pastor, will call the mom. Nurses there already, clocked in already, and you are not at home. Oh, I'm going, I'm coming back, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's okay. As long as the mom knows this, you know, I'm not really too, because the DSCC said when you see the child is where we will pay you from. Now, mom is not there. You cannot clock in. You clock in when that child comes. But guess what? That will be on the agency, because we sent you there at 3 o'clock. Even though you are clocking, but your chatting starts from at 4 o'clock that mom got back. Now we can find a way to get our money back from mom, whereby we're going to do another day, but the responsibility will be the agency to make sure that you will be paid from your 3 o'clock. And we are going to work with mom to see how we can resolve that situation. You see what I'm saying? But then I don't want to put mom and say, oh, she never came here anytime. She's always late. She never got here. She always made 5 o'clock over here. Trust me, those mom, you don't know. Welcome, they are your friends. When you walk with them, please don't let's get it twisted. Those parents will say anything, especially when DSCC calls them once every month. A whole lot. You know, some people, when you call them, you just open the way. They're just talking. They don't know. They're not supposed to say certain things. They're just talking. And that talking they're doing is affecting the nurse that is working in the home. So just be careful. Training in the home orientation protocol. Now they changed it. They say any case that you take, even though you are working with John Doe, we did the orientation, which is one of the things we gave you. Orientation, this form right here. We have it in the home. We have it in the home. When you are taking any new case, even though the mom, if it's a brand new case that we are opening, we do this automatically. We will have you do this automatically, which is something that we are just checking you to see how good you are. I mean, if you know your demonstration and you understand knowledge about the patient care and all that. We do this. But if you are now working with another patient that is that's open already, and you just, oh, Miss Lovett, you're gonna work with Mr. D. I know already you're good with G2 trade event, but you work with Mr. D. You need to have an orientation with Mr. D. We don't have to be there, but the parent can just show you what to do. But this needs to be filled out by us to make sure it's asked. Because every survey time, they ask all the nurses on that case, and they want to see this. So that's why we gave you extra. You can sign it and give it back to us. You know, just sign it on the way out, give it back to us, let's put it in your file. Whenever you take a case, I don't want to ask you to come in again. Just give us this one, I'll just use it and assess you and put it in your file, at least to make sure that you have the training on. So please, don't forget, just to sign, don't put a date on it. Thank you. Report health hazard to supervisor immediately. Of course, anything that is extraordinary, anything that is different from normal routine. I go to the house, I see the child going like this. And this is a child that walks like this. I wanted to say something. Even if I don't know, when I was a new nurse, I don't know. When I go to the other, I'm just going to call. You know what? This child is doing something. I'm not sure. Is that normal for him? Oh, no, it's not normal. Right? But if you don't tell me what's going on, tell the agency what's going on, will we know? We don't go in your chat, chatting every time. I don't know. And all I know is you work this case 12 hours, 4 days a week. That's all I know. If I need the schedulers that checks your notes, they check your notes to make sure that it's joined with timing, and you know, we have to clarify the timing. You work 77, you charge 77, yes. The nurses, the scheduler only look. They don't see exactly what you write in there, but that they're not nurses. Only a nurse will be able to see what you wrote. So now we do QA. Unfortunately, we don't have a QA nurse now. Everything is on Treasure for now. But at the same time, I don't look at nurses' notes all the time. Only when I need it. The state can ask me for, oh, let's say I want John Doe's paperwork. I will look at your 7 days note. That's when I look at what you're writing. Wow, I can't believe this is in here. I'll call the nurse and try to see if we can work together. And I do what I do. Or some of you knows I will work with you to get it together. I'm not going to throw any nurse out the bus like that. I'm not going to throw it under the bus. I will call you, we will fix it, we will send it to them before sending it to them. But please, let's make sure what we write, it's very important, because that's your lawyer. Your writing as a nurse is your lawyer. Anywhere they take your documentation, that's what is going to solve. So let's take time. Let's look at the money only. Some nurses is all about the money, but they forget after 10 years of my working in the nursing home, I was called for deposition for what I did 10 years ago. I don't remember the patient. I don't know what happened. But when they called me, I got the letter, they called me. And I was called for deposition. I was like, wow. They gave me all my documentation. That's when I remember. Because I kept saying, I don't recall. And guess what? In a table like this, downtown Chicago, have all these lawyers, about 7 of them, and you sitting right there, look like someone that never been to school before in my life. Your documentation, it's your guide. That's the only thing that will help you. And all that happened was a patient was sent to the hospital. I wasn't even the nurse on the floor, but I happened to be the nurse supervisor on the floor. The nurse was mad, like, I can't believe he's going to the hospital. She sent the patient to the hospital with a right knee cellulitis. The patient came back after 4 months or something, was there for so long. When he came back with 11 wounds. And that nurse was so mad. She's the first floor nurse. She was so mad. Every time the nurse is mad, the nurse on there, of course, they're going to call supervisor. So I came on the floor. She said, I'm not going to do this. It's already 2 o'clock. They just brought him back. I'm not going to admit the patient. I said, okay, don't worry. I will admit him for you. So I went ahead and admit the patient. Thank God, I took each of those wounds. The patient left with no wound. And we came back with 11 wounds. You know, you could have just, oh, wound this, and that's it. You know how we chart. We chart block charting and leave it like that. But that day I measured those wounds. He has all sacrum wound, he has all this ankle with different wounds. 11 of them. I took my time, I left the job at 11 o'clock that night. I wasn't even the nurse on the floor. When they brought him at 2 o'clock, I didn't leave till 11 o'clock. I did everything. It was my documentation that I saw that was able for me to respond to all the questions that they were asking me. And guess what? I didn't even know that they sued about 16 hospital, everywhere the man has been in his life, the wife sued everybody. Nursing home he has been before, they sued everybody. So everybody's trying to get out. Everybody's trying to get out. Everybody's trying to get out. Like, I don't have nothing to do with this. Methodist Hospital took the crap. That's why they know more today. They have a lot of sue in their, whatever is going on with them. But if I had not done what I did, I wouldn't have helped those nursing homes. I don't work for them anymore. But they recalled me, their lawyer recalled me and said, this is mine, I'm going to be the one to represent. I was so glad that I did that day. And guess what? After the whole thing was done, they gave me $1,500, I believe. They just gave me, thank you very much, because they are no longer in the lawsuit, you understand? Why? When you document right. When you document right, you need to document right. I always tell you nurses, when you do your last charting, please, I gave report to mom at the bedside. At the bedside. Don't let the mom just, oh, bye, I'll see you later. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Great, darling, and all that. You left. Mom never came back from the room. Mom never went to the bedside to the child. The child went to distress and the child died. What happens? And you just document right there. Oh, report the care of the child given to mom. You just threw yourself into the lawsuit if anything happens. Because that's what the lawyer is going to see. Or report your she never called. Oh, okay. They'll call you. I want this nurse to be part of the people that's going to be part of this lawsuit. And that's you pull yourself in it. But when you document right, you do your assessment, attitude assessment, like I tell people. The very first attitude assessment is you are now covering the nurse that is leaving. All the mom. Hey, I received this child is fine, G-tube okay, trach is fine. What you are telling me when you came in, your vital sign, you are telling me that the child that was given to you, it's okay. Now you started doing your care every 2 hours you're chatting, it's 45 minutes for you to go home. You're supposed to leave 7 o'clock. At 6:45, you need to do your documentation again. Now, I want to cover myself. The child remains stable. The trach is still in place. G-tube is still intact, it's patent. Ongoing feeding, you still want to do all that. Then, at 7 o'clock when you are leaving, you need to say, report is given to mom. You just covered yourself. Report given to mom at bedside. Child is in no distress. And this nurse is off duty. He might be cold. If it's cold outside, of course, I want to be comfortable in the house, right? So when you finish working, I'm off duty in the room of the child. I'm going to your bathroom to change to my clothing and everything. So I'm off duty at 7 o'clock. So guess what? Mom never went to the room. You are in the bathroom doing your changing. Mom never went to the room. Guess what? The patient, something happened. Patient died or something, but she never went back there. Oh, Patricia was still here. No, I wasn't here. This nurse is off duty. Just because I'm in your house, dressing up, I don't have nothing to do with your child any longer. That's your responsibility because you are a trained caregiver. So don't you put, and believe me, those lawyers, they see that too. But if you don't document it, what happens? Because your child is your lawyer. They're just going to look at the documentation and go, report was given at 7 o'clock. I can't call this nurse, but she did what she needed to do. She did the assessment, the child was okay at 50 minutes to the time she was gone, but then she left now. She's fine. So guess what? Hey, it's not, you have nothing to do with it. You just covered yourself. But when you leave it open, caregiving to mom, they want to know what happened. Why come you didn't give to mom at bedside? And that's why I said, please remember this, nurses. It's very, very important. When you do it the right way, you never have to get in any trouble. It doesn't matter. We are all out here caring for this patient, helping these children. You understand? Some parents, sometimes you'll be lucky to see a parent that really appreciates you as nurses. And sometimes you are lucky to find the one that think, yeah, we're paying you for your job. You need to do your job. You have some mothers like that. Oh, they're using my money. I'm paying you. You're working for me. You mean more, but because they are customers, we still have to lower ourselves to try to accommodate them. You have some parents like that. Some parents just want you to work from 24/7. They don't want you to take a break. Just relax, let them understand. Now, get us involved. Let's talk to those parents. Let's try to make sure that they understand that we are nurses and we are the best in the world, whether they like it or not. We are the best because people will continue to be sick, and that's what we do an excellent job. So they shouldn't forget that. What are the rules in your patient's house? Of course, all homes. See, we need to put it in our mind that those parents, they do have, them too, they have issues. It's bad as it is that they have complexity medical children, you understand? And everybody's different. Some parents don't even want nobody to come to their home. They like to be in their home alone, but they don't have a choice. They have a child that needs help, so they have to let you come in. So we should have to respect that and don't let them feel like they still have to be in control of their home. Trust me, I've seen nurses take their shoe, their house, do everything. They turn their house into their house. They take over everything. I've seen it happen. I'm like, you don't live here. Take your food when you finish eating. Take your food home. This is a job. This is not your home. You brought leftover food to their house. No, if they don't give you the permission, please don't do that. Please let them feel. Because some parents, they're scared to even talk to nurses because they don't want to lose that nurse. It's like, I need to go to work. I need her. But the nurse comes out, hey, hi, good morning, hi, how are you? Please, let's try to understand them too. Let's try to be considerate. Let's try to kind of give them the opportunity. Child's room and bedside cleaning, and of course we do. Now that is, they asking because when they ask those parents, the DSCC do their survey, they ask those parents about cleanliness, and that's when they're already added to our requirement. If you look at the ETAR, you see all equipment used. It's on the ETAR. That was the reason they sent us an email and let us know that parents are complaining that nurses just won't clean behind themselves. I'm not asking for you to clean in their room. I'm not asking for you to clean all other rooms. It's none of your business. Your business is where your child is. The room that your child is, you are responsible for that. Clean behind yourself, the machine that we use, suction machine and all that. Just clean behind yourself. That's all. You clean behind. Yes, you have a laundry. Mom did the laundry of that same child and put it in the room if you have the time. Fold it, put it to the side. It's just like in the hospital. They give you, remember before, they will give us a CNA, patient care technician. They don't give us no more. You're the nurse. You're going to clean that man. You're going to give the man the blood the man needs. You're going to be the one that's going to do the hair pressure. You're going to be the one that's going to turn around and come and dress the child. AM care, everything. You got your 2-3 patients. You will be the one to do all the cares. Same thing in the home settings. Let's just try our best to try to work right with those parents when it comes to cleanliness. Clean by and sign. And the signature is there in the ETA at the end of your shift, 7 o'clock, just put it in there. Cleaning and sanitization was maintained on this shift. That's all. Just click it and that's it. That's how to prove yourself. Physician visit and order. Of course, we go with children. We go with children to the hospital transportation. The one nurses that I talk to is when you have a level 3. You all know how what level 3 is G2 trachea vent. When you have a level 3 patient, those are the high risk skilled nursing care that they need. A nurse that's going with a child like that, your business is with that child. Mom said, this is how I do this. No, I don't know how you do, man. I'm so sorry. We're going to do it my way. I'm going to be the nurse. I don't know how to, but you can focus on the driving. But I like my suction machine to be here. You're in the back of the seat. Make everything you need to be around you, that you can reach your in terms of an emergency. You're going to be in transit, you're going to be driving. You know that, oh, if I keep the suction machine here, I don't want to do this. You want to keep it here. Let's keep it here. I want the oxygen right there because the head is right here. I want to grab the oxygen if I need it to hook it up in time. You see, so do it your way. If you want to do it before you even travel, it's your. Now, some nurses will think, I don't want you to feel. I don't know everything. Ma'am, I never traveled before, so I would like to go in your car to see how it's set. There's nothing hurting there. If you want me to go with you, can we go see your car first? I want to see how it's, it's up to you. If you want to do that, fine. You just want to make it comfortable because you know what, that child is an optimal, problem. You want to make sure that child is safe to the clinic and safe back home. Mom doesn't want it. She has the right to do it on her own. Call medical, but just let us know. Inform us. Let's talk about it. If mom does, some parents will say, you do it my way or no way. When you have parents like that, it's okay. You don't have to be to the appointment with them. They can do that. They are trained caregivers. Dad is a trained caregiver. Mom is a trained caregiver. So we go from there. But then always communicate with your agency. So that way we know what we have on ground. And normally when I see that we notice that this is something that we need to notify DSCC, just for them to know what's going on, we'll let them know. But if we don't tell them, when something happens, when the mother is the first one to report to them, then it comes on us. Then the nurse will be pulled. You see what? So always communicate is very important. Okay, we got that. The last one is equipment, medication, and child meals. We know that already. I've just talked about that. Just equipment, all this. Oh, you go to the house and you realize that the child suction machine does not have the PSI enough to suction those machines. Of course, we are nurses. We are in the home. You are charged nurses. Charge. When you get to the house, your license is in charge until you leave. Trust me. If anything happens, the time that you are there. When you say, oh, mom, do you think they listen? No. You are the charge nurses. She didn't go to school to be a nurse. You went to school to be a nurse. You were trained. So while I'm in the house, you don't have no medication. You don't have, I'm supposed to be giving you phenobarbital and you don't have enough. I'm calling pharmacy because in the house they have a borrow that shows pharmacy number. I will call pharmacy. Hi, my name is Patricia. I'm taking care of so and so in the home. She doesn't have no phenobarb anymore. Could you check your file profile to tell me when is the next delivery so I can have parents to pick it up? They will look, and they will look, and they will look, and they will turn around and say, oh, we don't have no orders. There's no more order. Have you reached out to the doctor? Those are the questions you have you reached out to the doctor? What is, okay, I'm going to help too to reach out to the doctor so that they would know that they need to give you guys another pre-authorization from the insurance, right? The pharmacy will tell us, until then, you as nurses, tell that pharmacy person and tell them, can you send me a 3-day supply until we get hold of the doctor? Please, it's very important. We don't tell them anything, they won't give you anything. But you need to let them know, I need 3-day supply. Because in the state of Illinois, you have the right, pharmacy, there's still money aside for that. That is set aside for that. They will give you 3 days supply. If you don't tell pharmacy, they don't say nothing. You tell them, I would love 3 days supply. I'll ask mom to pick it up while we are trying to reach the doctor. Because you cannot put it in your chart. Not giving, not giving, not giving. 3 days, after 3 days, after the 4th day, it's becoming a problem now. So when you reach out, you call the doctor. We are the child, you call the doctor's office. If you're a night nurse, that you're the only one there, then reach out to the agency. We will take it over from them. The only person we don't take it over is the morning shift, because we all have the same license. The same license I have, this is the one you got. And you are in the home, you discharge nurse, call the doctor. The doctor understand. This child doesn't have, the pharmacist has been trying to reach out to the doctor. Can you please reach out and give another order? That's all you need to do. Then you'll solve the problem like that. Even yourself, you will feel comfortable that you've gotten the medication in. But if you just rely on mom, there's no medication today, no medication 2 weeks, medication still not here. Oh, she ain't got it, just chatting it. Trust me, you will be in trouble with the mom together. Because it's your license and you were in that house. So please, let's put that in mind. Always let's call. I just saw my boss now. I wanted to introduce her, but she left. Yeah, it's okay. If she wants to come, she'll come back. I wanted to introduce her to the nurses. The child's POC is the legal documentation to follow for care, of course. Plan of care, plan of care, plan of care. Plan of care is the only Bible that will keep you safe. Plan of care, plan of care, plan of, we can't say no more than that. If it's not on the plan of care, hello ladies, this is Miss Lara. This is Miss Lara. Miss Lara Alao, she and her brother are the owner of this company.
Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Lara. POC is that's the only thing that will save us. You can actually put me in trouble with the POC, because I happen to be one of the nurses supervisors that put the POC together. Collecting data at the beginning of the opening of shift, put it in the POC. You nurses have the right to see it, because if you really know your case, you'll be able to say, you know what, this medication is wrong that you put in here. This is not what's supposed to be. You can question it. And now we're human. Maybe I'm putting Mr. John's medication for Mr. D. I'll go to jail for that too if I don't be careful. That's why when I'm doing POC, I want it to be quiet. I shut the door sometimes. But this is medication. You need to do reconciliation. You need to make sure that the diagnosis the patient has the same medication. The patient might have a GERD and they are giving what gastritis medication. You want to question it even before you put it out. Call the doctor, make sure you ask them, let them be sure. This is exactly what you want the patient to be on. They tell me it's fine, you send me an order. Then you know I'll put it in and put it out for the nurse. You can check. Now, when I want to tell this, when you go on plan of care, you can check. You know how the flow sheet is? On the bottom side, on the left-hand corner, you can go down there and view the POC. At the same time, you can go to this your home page and click on the client, and click when you get the client, go on the right, left upper corner, and you will see the one that is attached, POC that is attached. Attached POC is the one that the doctor signed. That's the one that they will use for anything you're doing in the home. If anything changes from that signed POC, okay, POC says 1 ml, and that's what the doctor signed. But 2 days after the POC was signed, they changed the medication to 2 ml. You can continue with 2 ml as long as you have an order that mom gave you, that you gave to the agency by taking picture of a full pages, not just the page of the medication, all the pages that they gave from the hospital, all pages. Take a full picture and send it. And you know what? This is the new medication. As soon as we have, you see that this medication has changed from the POC, you can give it because you have an order. You can give it. You know what? It's up to Patricia now or another supervisor to put it in the.
If the child just got back from hospital with antibiotic and there's no order, the mom just got the order.
The mom got the order. Antibiotic. This is the
night shift.
Night shift. Now the patient came back. They put it was an antibiotic actually. It was an antibiotic, but guess what? When the culture came back from the lab, they realized that it's not a staphylococci medication problem anymore. It's not another type of aerobic organism that now they need another maybe sequel. You know. So now they change it to sequel. They call mom on the phone. They send it to pharmacy. But guess what? Mom did not tell the hospital that agency is in the home. That's why we never got that order. But immediately mom sent me the pharmacy with the new order of that night. The nurse that worked that night did not give that medicine. That night they did not give it because I don't have an order. But immediately I went back to get a doctor online, and they gave me order that yes, they did change it. So I discontinued it, and I sent it to all the nurses. I said, it's okay for you to continue to give the new medication. But when there's no new medication, you don't see no order, you cannot give it. We are bound not to touch it because you don't know.
But it has to be given. Can you tell mom?
The mom will give it. Yes, the mom will give it. You don't give it, the mom gives it. And they know this. This is part of their training. Why do you want to put yourself in any trouble? What if pharmacy made a mistake with that order? I'm not even supposed to go with pharmacy order. We're not supposed to go with pharmacy order. Because guess what? The doctor sent the order to pharmacy. Pharmacy technician is the one doing it. Now it says 500 milligram of Cipro to be given BID. Now see, she made a mistake and said 1,000 milligram BID, right? That's not the doctor's order. Then guess what? Agency is going to take that order from them. When they're ready to sue them, don't you think they'll sue us too? We are together. We messed up together. That's why my order comes from the doctor. It comes from the doctor. When the doctor sent the order to us, I look at it, says 500. How come they got 1,000 in the home? I'm reaching out to the pharmacy because guess what? The pharmacist himself never checked the pharmacy technician that prepared that medication. And the mistake starts because they trust each other. It happens. We know we're all in this business together. But you need to watch out for how you're not going to be part of the soup. We don't go with that. But sometimes when I see the mom like that, give me the order, I take a picture of the pharmacy, I will call the doctor's office and get their order. Let them sign on it and tell me, yes, that is the truth. And we go from there. But you don't give the medication. You do not. That's just there. It's up to you. It's your license, not mine. My sister. Me, I won't give it. That night, that morning, that night, the nurse that was there that night, I told her the truth. We have order for back training. You brought Cipro. I can't give Cipro. I only have order for back training. Oh, did they call me on the phone? Oh, did you tell them that we are the agency because we need that order too? And the doctors will send it to us if you tell them. We have our oh, I forgot to tell. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm going to get that order, but in the meantime, for tonight, 11 o'clock, why don't you give the medication? I don't want that nurse in any trouble. So please, you give it. They are trained caregivers. If your mother wants to give extra to their child, let them give it. That's their child. If you decide I wanted to give my child because of constipation, they have the right to give it. That's their children, right? So don't go too deep into that. Just let them do it. Let them do it, and you can come. You can ask your agency to get an order for you, and like that, if you're a night nurse. Okay, now let's move on. So we are running out. Nurse, yes, ma'am.
When the parent decide to give the...
No, you don't have to stand up. Please stay up.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. So when the parent decide to give the medication, as you said, so we don't have to shout it in our notes.
Now, as long as you are there, as long as you are in that home,
Okay.
and you said 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., the medication is assigned at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You are there at 9 o'clock. You have to address it. When you go to your mom, you check, not give it. You go to your comment and you say, Mom gave medication.
Oh, okay.
No order at this time.
Okay.
That's it. And it would turn out to be red.
Yeah.
That shows,
yeah.
but then it shows that the mom gave it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, I wouldn't put tolerated well because I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't know. She gave it. She gave it, but she gave the medication. I didn't see the child to be in any distress. That's why I can put that in there. Child doesn't show any adverse reaction to the medication, but she gave it, not me.
Okay.
No order at this time. We'll follow up. That means when you say no order at this time, we'll follow. That means you're going to follow up to see if you can get an order. That's all you're going to put on that. Nurses must follow the POC or risk your license. Next place. Trust me, the nurses know that we don't have to say that. Code of conduct. Again, for the CNAs. The CNAs among us, welcome. I appreciate you guys. You're doing a great job. So far that you all started working with us, it has been excellent because trust me, in the past I've had issues with CNAs that I have to do a lot of documentation back to the state, back to back. But you have been doing excellent. Thank you very much for what you do. But bottom line, code of conduct. You need to adhere to that care plan that we put on, which I know that I checked. The CNA's auditing is the easiest way. There's nothing they're asking for but just to sign for all the care that you give them at home. And make sure that you put it in there because CNAs, we cannot deduce, we cannot touch anything, G2, trade, whatever, anything, nothing medical. All you're doing is helping with ADL, just cleaning the house for them, bathing the child, for them transfer and all that. Do not try your best, don't even try to help and touch the trade. Because even if you're, I'm not going to get involved in that, but if you do anything, please don't charge it to do anything with that, because it's gonna be, it could be even if you are a family member, it could be a big problem for that CNA. So please do not even charge it anyway. And the most important thing is you always got to document that the trained caregiver was in the house throughout your shift. Because they say, because if there's a G2, what if he comes out and the trained caregiver is not there? What you gonna do? You gonna put it back? No. So you're gonna set it in there. Trained caregiver in the house all throughout my shift, which I see that our CNAs have been doing excellent on that. They do their vital signs twice, before and after. They've been doing great. So I don't really have that much to tell you, CNAs. You know already the don'ts. You see that suctioning, tube feeding, and care and trach and all that. You have to be DSCC. You do the mandatory reporting also. Anyone working for DSCC children, you have to be. You have to have the mandatory reporter certificate for you to work for any DSCC children. And so CNAs also. And we check you on IDPH to make sure that there's no prior. Maybe you have a theft, maybe you have some kind of, I don't know, because this is America, even if you're not a theft person, you take a pin in a store, it becomes an issue. They put it on your record, it might be nothing. They put it on there. If that's there, we normally will call the state and tell them we have this CNA or this nurse that has this on their license. Can we have a waiver to have? Because this nurse, it might be something for 30 years. That no, maybe when you are a baby, maybe it's not. You don't even know any better then. But you are now old and that is still taking it upon you. Come on, this doesn't need to be here no more. So we call and they give us waiver. They usually will give us waiver and tell us this person is okay, we can work and all that. But those are the things that we check before we can. But we have to make sure the nurses that we send out are very competent, are very okay to go to the house. You do not want to send someone in the house. You never know. Everybody has issues. And you send them to the house. Trust me, I've seen it all. You send the wrong person to the house, they conflict. They can fight each other. And the next thing you know, you see, oh, she pull a gun at me. They pull a gun at me. It could be like that. It happens. I used to have my old company. I used to have a man working with this patient, and the husband was so frustrated the fact that the wife is always talking to the female nurse. Every time he comes, she's talking to him. Standing right there in the room, talking. The man came on one day and said, you know what, I think my wife is sleeping with you. And he said, no. If he was not a calm guy, he will be dead that night. But the guy broke the door to the room and brought a gun to this guy. Yes, that guy is no longer working in home health today. Because when you get too deep in people's business as nurses, it becomes trouble. You don't know, especially now that people are very frustrated. Things is going on with a lot of people. And you go there getting their business, I don't want to know. I have my own problems. Can you please just let me deal with mine? Because when your wife is coming to you all the time, you have a way to stop it. Oh, I'll talk to you later. Let me take care of it. When she sees that you are preventing her, she will stop. But you're allowing us sitting down talking for long. The husband is in the room sleeping all the time, and they have their own issue going on. And here you go, see you, the woman are sitting with you all the time. Of course. Now my brain is turning. I don't want to lose my wife. I'm gonna kill this guy. Believe me, we pray that we don't see such in life, and it happens. And why is this? Because you get too deep in people's business. This is their home. I will tell the mother, I don't feel comfortable you coming to me, talking to me all the time. I really want to concentrate and learn what I'm doing. If you don't mind, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but please, can we limit this talking? And I will involve the agency. We knew about it before, after they want to shoot him. Thank God they didn't shoot him. 6 o'clock, when the other nurse came, he ran out and he went to call 911. It wasn't, believe me, we are laughing about it. It wasn't something. We were all scared. This is not something, because if that guy's dead, it's going to be in the record of that agency today. That, wow. So we are happy that it didn't happen. So believe me, this is something serious. Even with women, it can happen. When the husband is coming talking to you, oh, you're pretty, you go there, and you go to the house with all your gym showing and all that. And the man is looking and the woman is looking and looking. I have a home like that. Is it an older person? A patient will ask me, husband, I want older person to bring. I don't want young nurses. Don't bring young nurses. Yes. She asked, so this particular family asked me, because her husband is killed. That guy is really killed. So you big young nurses over there, and she's going, you know how, hi, how are you? Can you come and show me this? Can you, all that? She sees all that. She gets frustrated. Don't touch that. Don't do, she's all going crazy with all the nurses. Until I started watching who I sent to that house. Peace in that house now, because they're all older people in that house. Peace, it's true, peace. I don't have trouble anymore in that house. She asks them questions. She makes them, she asks questions, they're teaching her, they're doing all that. Good, that's what she wanted. She doesn't want any young one coming in there. And I don't blame her. And that's just the way it is in life. Exactly, I'm not scared, what can you do? So that's the CNA, your active, your CPR card, is active all the time. Please, when you give yourself a reminder to make sure that all your documentation are up to date. We never know when they will ask us. So when I start disturbing your daily living, it doesn't make sense. Oh, please, I need this, I need this, I need it. Don't let it be the last one you have. When you have it updated, you have your car insurance updated, please let us have it on time. You just said, the numbers, just take a picture when you get it, just take a picture, send it to us. As soon as they see it, they update you. And that's why we gave you all those things that we don't have in the file for you to put together for us. Thank you. Next. 5 minutes. Any questions? I want to continue. What's the time actually? 11 what? 11:50, 12 o'clock?
12:07.
12:07. So we, come on, let's go. Time is gone. We have a lot. Okay. Here we go. Overview of the tracheostomy. Let's talk a little bit about the trach. I'm not going to take too much time. I'm just going to show you the pictures, so you to see what we actually expect. Everybody here knows all about trachs. The new nurses that we are, please pay attention, because I do see all the nurses that are here. They are good. Most of them are level 3 nurses that are sitting here. So I'm not going to go deep into this. I'm just going to read the slides because of time, so that way we can show the video and we move on. The video is about 15 minutes. Okay, for the all 3. Okay, that's good. Introduction. We know trachea. Everybody knows trachea. We have level 1, level 2, level 3 patient. A level 2 patient is a patient with a trach, and they have a G2. Trach is something very, very important. When a child, it could be a reason for anything. They give them trach. Maybe a child has a cancer up here. There's nothing here walking. They give a trach. So that way, entrance from here. You can, we normal people we breathe. We breathe here. But then nothing comes from here. Something's wrong, so they put a trach here. It's for one reason or the other. Child is born with any anomalies. When they were born young, it could be any problem. They could have a septal defect. They could have brain problem. They could have anything. It could be muscle dystrophy. It could be anything that the child. We have different types of diseases out there that come around them children to have a trach. Now, when they give them a trach, we know that's the only source of their. That's the only way they can breathe. When you have that in mind, that this is the only place that they breathe, put it in your mind that it's nothing to this. People make a big deal, there's nothing big deal in this. I know this is the only way that you breathe, and it's a tool that they put in there. Anyone can put, if it's a straw, the straw that we drink with, it's the same thing. From the front part, the bottom part will give, if I blow inside it, air will come through the other side. All they want is this hair to go through here for that patient to be able to get hair oxygen in the brain, right? That's all that is to it. But guess what? When they put a tube right there, we have all sorts of mucus, whatever that's secreting here. We can go like, ow, and everything can come. Sometimes they can't. It stays right there. When it stays right there, it blocks the entrance that the hair will go through to go to the brain. It blocks it. So when it does block it, you can tell from your O2 saturation that this person is not getting enough hair. It's nothing. We are different people. I remember when I was a first nurse, heart attack. I even gave the mother the heart attack too, because I'm shaking like a jelly. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, he's not breathing. And I'm supposed to be the nurse. He's not breathing. Oh, he said, what do we do now? What do we do now? Trust me, it's normal. It happens as you go along, you become good at what you do. It's okay. But just always remember to be calm. Just always remember to be calm. I'm saying it is easy for me to say. When my turn comes, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. But I can tell you, I will make sure that child is not dead on my watch. That's all. I know that for sure, because that's my goal, to make sure that this child, I will save you unless it's time for God to take your life. But guess what? I will do everything. Make sure your nursing process follows. Soon as you notice that this child is not, O2 saturation is not going right, the first thing in your head, I'm going to suction. I want to suction. The first thing you want to do, you just make, after your assessment, of course. I looked at the tray, it's in. Check time is normal, everything is in. Why is O2 saturation going? I want to grab my suction. Suction 1 time, 2. If there's nothing coming out, you don't see nothing coming out, dry, nothing is coming out, and it, God bless you, sweetheart. It just, normally the home, I put a tray, step 3.0, whatever, and I put the step down, right there by the bedside. It's in the Ziploc. Whatever way you go to your home, make your home the way you want to walk. You are the charge nurse. If Patricia comes in there to do the settings, and you come and you realize this is not good for me, you turn it around to your side. This is the way I want to walk here. Patricia is not walking here. I can only make it for you, make it easy for you. It might not be the way you want it. Grab the trick and immediately change it. Is this going to be a sterile technique or a clean technique? Too bad. It is what it is. Prioritization is what we do as nurses. At this point, it's an emergency. I prioritize. I'm not scared to tell the doctor. I did change the trick, but wasn't too clean. You might want to give some kind of an antibiotic to prevent any infection. We're nurses. That's what we do. You take care of people. People are scared. Sometimes nurses will make mistakes and they don't want to talk about it. Why not? I'm a human. It happens. But I didn't give it. But try your best not to give the wrong thing, because anything that goes in the system, you cannot bring back out. Nothing you bring, if it's already instilled, you can't get it out. That has become a medication error, which is a bigger thing. The spray is not going to be phenobarbital or any narcotic. But you're going to know about it, everybody's going to know about it, you're going to call this, it's really big. That's why I tell nurses, be careful before giving anything to the child. Make sure you see, like I'm saying, trick, it's nothing to trick, or just suction, change the trick. After you change the trick, immediately you wanted to back the child to get some hair in. Because guess what? Your heart and your brain works together. Your heart and your brain, they work together. If your heart, like somebody was telling me, why are we giving the breath? I said, of course you have to give the breath. Because guess what? If you can feel the pulse, that means your heart is working. Your heart is pumping your blood. It's pumping the blood to go to the system. But the brain is not having any hair. No hair is going to the brain. So that means there's no oxygen. There's no oxygen, what happens? Brain dead. Cells start dying. The cells in your brain start dying. And they're not connecting to the heart. So guess what? The heart is going to eventually be rigid. Eventually. So that's why we give breath. You give the compression, they do, you give the breath. You are doing both together. The compression, the breath that you're giving is the hair for the brain. The compression you're doing is for the heart to get up and please start working. You cannot stop working. You're supposed to be 24 hours. You can't stop. So both work together, the brothers and sisters together. So you know that the fact that they are not getting enough hair, that the brain is not getting that oxygen, that patient would eventually go into cardiac arrest. It would definitely. But then if you quickly suction, hey, voila, the patient goes by immediately. You will see in the child's eye that, wow, I'm back, thank you. That child would even trust you more than anything. Because they don't trust you until emergency happens. And of course, we all know, you want to change the trick, the child can breathe. You understand that the child will be having irritability. If you can breathe right now, what will you be doing? And you know what, you nurse, don't worry about it. Hold that child the way you want to hold the child to make it easy. Your goal is to get that trait back in there and to give the hair. Watch, as soon as you give the hair and the child will go relax. Oh, I thought this nurse is really crazy, but she's good after all. I can breathe. That child will calm down, no more irritability. You understand what I'm saying? So please, your goal is to make sure you suction. After you suction, there's nothing coming out, or if something coming out, if it doesn't get, don't waste time to continue to suction. Don't waste time. Change that trick. Soon as you change the trick, you do what you need to do. It's not working. What you do? 911. I'm done. I'm a nurse. I'm not a doctor that's going to give you life. I've done my part that I'm trained to do, but it's not working. It's been 3 minutes, 4 minutes. This thing is not working. Call outside help. And they'll come in and they'll take over from there. And that's the way you charge. You notice the child, you find this problem, I suction, it wasn't doing any good, immediately I changed the trick, it wasn't doing any good, I call 911, chat like that. That's it. There's no other way around it. But when you're telling me that, oh, when I saw that it wasn't breathing, then I suctioned, and after I suctioned, he was still not breathing, and I raised him up, and all those extra is not doing anything. Change the tray. It's nothing but a entrance for air to go in the brain. Change the tray. Don't be scared. If you've not changed the tray before, find a way. Just change it. Trust me. Just change it. And if a situation occur, I have a nurse that the nurse was in the middle of changing the tray. Mom came, was scared, just pushed the nurse off the way, and she took over. She took over the child. She wants to do it. Remember, that's her child. You can't. Then the nurse stood right there. You know what? This is wrong. You know, you're not supposed to be doing that. This is my job. She's talking. What are you talking about? Leave this woman alone. Let her take care of her child. In the meantime, you need an alibi from outside. Then you stood right there, not doing anything, talking to the mother, whereby the boyfriend called 911. Why would she be the boyfriend calling 911? I'm calling 911 right there. You took the child. I'm calling that. Hello, hi, my name is Patricia. I'm with the child. He's in distress right now. I try my best to want to resuscitate the child. The mother pushed me on the way. You just got yourself alibi. But you didn't say anything. You were talking to the mother. When paramedics came, the child eventually died though. DCFS will kick in because DCFS is an umbrella for everybody. Juvenile under DCFS, DSCC under DCFS, and all this aging under DCFS. So they came, they kicked in, what killed this child? Then the nurse was brought to the table. All of the supervisors sitting down on that table at my old job, including the owner that called herself a lawyer, they told them, shh, it's for the nurse. Questions is for the nurse, so they faced the nurse. Thank God the nurse is one of those good ones that listens when they talk to her. They were asking her questions, and all our hearts is going bim, 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 like, wow, please God, let this one answer the right thing. Let this answer the right thing, because guess what? Our license is on the line. But thank God, that mom is not that high-class educated person. She even said, oh, I push her crazy ass off the phone. I'll push her away because she was on the phone, talking on the phone, so I pull her away. That word, pull away, helped that nurse. That's the only thing that saved that nurse. Because they were blaming it on her that she never called 911. The call came from a guy, not from you. So whatever situation you find yourself in the home, nurses, please think about the legal part of it. The legal aspect of it is very important. Because you never know what will put you in trouble. I changed the trade, I did what I need to do, mom pushed me out of it, I'm calling 911. She just prevented you from doing your job. But that's what you were there for. And you need an alibi. 911. Your word alone is not going to be good enough. Please call 911. Then you can notify us later. This is what happened, this is what happened. If you know the protocol to all this work, you're not going to get in any trouble. But know what to do at the right time, when to do it, and how to do it. We don't expect you to know all of it. We don't expect you to know everything that is put out there. You go to the house sometimes, maybe they already changed something. It's okay not to know it all. I don't know it all. They bring something out, I go on Google and find out, how do I put this together? I'm a nurse, that's how they train us. We will find out that you go to the hospital today, or they already changed the drip, they already changed something. It's okay, they will give orientation, they will train us, but guess what, you never went to the training. Well, I'll figure it out one way or the other, call my colleague, show each other. I mean, who's your colleague in this? With me or any other supervisor at the agency. We call each other, we figure it out together, and we move on. That's all that is to it. But when you don't call and you take it in so easy and everything, that's when it becomes a problem. Please, nurses, let's just be on track with this. Next. Use, ensure correct, overview, what else? Cough assist, we know already. Cough assist, we know the best cough assist, everything is on the, we are sometimes, one of those, I don't have none over there. But when you want to do a manual cough assist, of course, some children, you know how you feel, mother, you have some children, you can feel the congestion too, and it's not coming out. I just go behind your back like this. Not even to the child, they don't have, I just go like this, and then after doing a little bit, it's losing a little bit. That's a suction, you're fine. And you're fine, you know. Sometimes they have a vest, sometimes they, instructions is there. You all have done vest therapy before, it's nothing big of a deal. If you don't know, you always see, you know where to find me. I don't mind coming to any home at any time to come and show. I really don't mind. It doesn't hurt. It's good that we all know together. You understand? If I don't know, we find out together. That's the way we work here. When to lavage, we don't lavage children without a PRN. Some kids, they need to be lavaged, and if there is no order in your POC, please don't lavage. Please leave that child alone, because we have some parents, even though they don't know, but that lavage, they'll go and tell their doctor, oh, the nurse told me she's lavaging my child, and the doctor knows that they didn't put any lavage in there. Believe me, trouble will come from there. Please, if it's not on the POC, do not even go close. If you think that child needs it, you can get an order from the doctor. And we can always talk to the doctor. Call them. There are nurses that are assigned to those doctors. I will call them and say, don't you think this milligram you're giving this child is too much?
There was a time, though it might not be on the POC, but when there's
Need for it.
urgent need for it, of course we still have to tell and we still have to, because there was a mucus plug even after changing
The tray. Okay.
There was a mucus plug and there was a need for it.
So
and
that
that saved the child.
and then what did you do after that?
Of course, I called the yes.
You called the doctor? No, not the
I
agency.
called the doctor that called me.
Amen. See, that's another thing. You as a nurse, if you think it's necessary, right? If a child is dying right now and the child doesn't have no oxygen to be given, are you going to wait to get the order? Oh, it's just, that's what we call prioritization. I'm using my license to stand on it. I was trained to be a nurse. I will give you the oxygen. We don't go beyond 3 liters. Then I will call the doctor. Tell the doctor I get 2 liters of oxygen. Can you give me an order? Just like we do everywhere. Well, you cannot give oxygen and you leave it alone and you just went home. Everything is fine. You save the child. Everything is okay. Whatever you do as nurses, you put your license on high and you make sure you get order for that, and you're fine. So it's okay. If you lavage a child and you call the doctor say, oh, and they give you order, that's good. You understand? If you don't mind, you guys drink water. You guys drink your water. Oh, Mr. This is my boss, my big boss, Mr. Wale.
Morning, ladies.
This is
and
Mr.
gentlemen.
Wale, and the sister came earlier. They are the owner of this company. So please help me welcome Mr. Wale.
Thanks. The pleasure was ours. Thanks all for coming.
Thank you, sir.
You welcome.
Okay. So let's go on. Documentation, resolution effort, documenting breath sounds, expansion. Of course, we've talked about all this. Print the picture of the child. This happens, the picture of the child that they are saying, this is on your flow sheet, the flow documentation that we do. That's your assessment of when you come in, and it has to be the time that you came in. Your assessment of the time you walked in. So when you get to GI, you talk about all the things that the child, you go to the comment, just copy the order for nutrition order on the plan of care. Copy it and put it under your comment. So if anybody is looking at your child, they will see that order and we can tell all the feeding that the child is on under your GI, under flow sheet only. You understand? You put it there. And that's what they will see. Just show us the picture of what overall picture of this child that you are caring for. Of course, when you get to your education, I don't expect you to educate the child, the mom or anybody at the time of your coming to work. It could be at the end of your shift. So you put your time there. Change the time. You have the ability to change the time on those flow sheets to the time that it's done. Your care coordination is where you chart that you are leaving. If it's 7 o'clock you wrote there, your last charting on that narrative should be 7 o'clock. The same time that you have that care coordination is the same time. Nurses do forget, they put the same time, 8 o'clock when they came in the morning on that care coordination. Shift initiation is your first coming in that work. But that's when they're going to ask you, who did you take the shift from? The nurse, the mother, whoever, you write it there. Then you, if you remember, they asked on that and said, narcotics, phenobarbital, clonazepam, diazepam, all those sepan that are benzodiazepam, that they are barbiturate and all that, they all have to be on that comment. You said I count with mom and you just going on. You can't just say you count with mom and that's it. What did you count with mom? I need to know. So you put it in the phenobarbital, 10 received, diazepam, 1, 2 received, this one received. Put it on that then. When you are leaving at care coordination, you put the same thing. Put it on that care coordination and say, phenobarbital, 25 returned back to mom. 1 tablet was used on this shift. You understand? You put it there. That's where you. But say you come in, some medication come in white bottle. You can't even see. How do you measure those liquids? The brown bottle, you can't see. So you put it in phenobarbital, received in a brown bottle, unable to. It's not calibrated, unable to read. But at least you are acknowledging it. I did the count with mom. Mom saw that this phenobarbital is still there, but I can count, I can measure. Same thing with this one was in a white bottle. I can measure. Mention all those medications there and do the same at the end with care coordination. I'm returning it back to mom. I only use 4.5 ml from it and it's going back to mom. So that's how you would address your communication with narcotics. That's it. Please go to the next one. Ensure correct airway placement and patency. We talked about that. A straight cuffed or uncuffed. Of course, we have some tricks that, it's cuffed, one of those, can I have one in there, Auntie Richard? Can I have one of the flex end and one of the stationary ones? So I can show you right quick. Thank you. This is not a cuff trick. This is just a regular, these are cuff tricks. Okay. So that way you can put the hair or wherever they want to put, you can put it here, depending on what the doctor wants. Meanwhile, it's different reasons that they do this, that they use the cough trick. It could be that when the child is on vent, the vent gives the breath, and sometimes they can, hair escapes on the sides. Some hair escapes, and the vent is not working right. They can cough the trick by saying, just put a 4 ml, 2 ml, 1 ml of hair, or whatever, the liquid hair. I've never seen liquid, but I've seen hair. They will put hair in, and this will be, Auntie Richard, can you get it? So you know what, they can put it in, and so when they do that, you know how we give our Foley, we do the Foley. When you put Foley in and you have to balloon, the balloon right here will make it open. So anyway, nothing comes through, except for hair goes here, that's the only way air is going to come out. Thank you. Hair goes here, depending on what the doctor says, then you come here, just put it in, and you know what, this will be, you see that, it didn't come through. Depending on what the doctor said, you see that? You all see that that's in the child, but then it's cuffed. And the hair will go through in there. You understand? But you have to understand. And it helps, sometimes they do the cuff for them to be able to speak. Because it makes that, when you put it in, for adults client, when they cough it like that, that adult client will be able to, you can hear when they speak. But you have to understand, when you are putting them on the vent, you have to remove. If they're on vent, you need to remove it. Some people you don't remove at all, but some, it depends on what the doctor wants that is good for that client. You understand? And no hair, it will be exactly the breath, the rate that they are giving them goes in them. It will prevent any escape of any breath going out. So when you, and you know what, some of them, they just have it just there. Nothing is done. It's a cuffed trach, deflated. If it's deflated, or it's inflated. You understand? That's all that is to it. Do we understand that part? Thank you. So that's all that is, cuff or no cuff, depending on what the doctor said you watch. And this is just regular trick. It goes in and you just do your thing. Just like I said, you look into it, it's just a hole in there. From here to here, that's it. So if I know what goes through here, hair. That's all goes in the hair. I'll put hair. If I don't have this one and your trach is open, I'll put hair in one way or the other. Because that's all the concept of it. They want the hair to get in your brain. We will do anything. We are nurses. If you're in the jungle, we will do anything. I don't have this and you need to breathe. We're going to put some hair in. If it's a straw that we're going to stick in there and put some hair, so be it. As long as you're not going to there, you're going to get this hair that you need in your brain. That's all that is. If you know, it's easy. You can change. You can use your head and do any other way to get that patient to be safe. That's all. So next, child unattended to ensure a straight out the documentation, stomach, neck, and of course we see that. You will see that later on in the video. Safety consideration, transportation, HME, HHCT, and HME. You can only use HME during the day. You know, those children with trach like this. HME, can I have an HME right there, Auntie Rachel? HME right there, we have I call it when dry and wet.
Artificial nose.
So it's HME, it's heat moisture exchange. Heat moisture exchange, that's HME. HME, it's usually when the child is not on vent or anything. You have child with trach and they are moving around, you just use an HME. During the day, the child just, HME just go right here. Just to come. If you look here and you look here, these are filters. Of course, they said we can't, the normal hair, we normal people take normal hair in. We have something that filters it before it goes to our brain. But if those children have problems, they cannot have that. So what they did was put the filter in, so the hair comes in, hair is going to be filtered before it goes in the child. Some kidneys just remove it. That's why sometimes they're so dry. They're so dry, the mucus is so thick and all that. That's when you have to use nebulizer, give them nerve treatment. But if the child uses this, it's usually, if they let it stay, it's usually prevent all those thick secretion. But it's a HME, you use it through. When the child is going at night to bed, then they use the HHTC, that's the collar, because that one is used with any humidification system. You know, the Fisher-Paykel. You know that Fisher-Paykel that we connect our humidification system? They connected, it have a collar, high humidity trach collar. That's you have to do your, if you work 7 to 7, and in the morning you put it in on HME, document. Remove from vent, HME attached. At night he's going to bed, they said it's 12 hours of vent, right? You put him on the vent, you have to change it to HCT, right? Then you have to charge it again. Don't just continue charging and they will look at why is he using HME while the child is on vent. That's a wet vent. You understand? Or wet humidification system. Always make sure that you identify what you're using, differentiate it. If you look at it too, when they're unattended, when they are not being watched or whatever, we use the HME, but when they are with the humidification system, the cascade, we use the HMTC. Do we have any question on that? I know everybody here knows that. Positioning in the car, we talked about that already when you're moving this baby to the hospital. Position, trach tube and step down, suction, make sure they are right there. They might say I'm crazy, but when I go to the house of a patient with trach and vent, I want to, even though I just left you at 11 o'clock, I come at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm still checking. Some nurses get so comfortable. I work on this case for the past 3 months, that's okay, I know that. I check just for the sake of it, you never know. Especially when I don't trust the parent. The mother used it while you were gone at 3 o'clock, never said anything to you. Your emergency bag, she used already, she never told you. But guess what? At 2 o'clock when you're still there, child went into distress, child needs to go to the hospital. By the time you're looking in the bag, that you grab the bag and go to the emergency room, you're in the ambulance. Ambulance said, can I have another trach? Can I have another trach right there? Guess what? You open the bag and it was gone. And you saw it at 11 o'clock. How are you going to be in front of 911? Wow. I want the floor to open so I can drop myself in there. Because I know I'll be so ashamed of myself as a nurse. I have a license and the life is in my hand. And I did not have trach that they needed. And they have to intubate that child before they get to the hospital. Don't you think your license needs to be on hold? Just because you didn't check. Those emergency bags are there for those high-skilled patients. Check them, it doesn't hurt. While I will look at it. Oh, you removed this. When did you, I forgot, I'm sorry. Mom will tell you. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. We use it over the night, but she never put it in there. She never changed it. Those mistakes, please be careful. It doesn't take you nothing. Just check. Just check. That's all we ask for you to check. Clothing, of course, we don't want to wear too much tight clothes. Positioning, child unattended, that's very, very important. Clothing, no high heel, no powder, of course. Those powders goes in the trach side. It could cause a lot of aspiration problem. Aspiration, pneumonia, and all that, those may cause it. So let's be careful. Next person, please. Signs to look for: trach obstruction, trach change, stimulations, accidental decannulation, difficulty trach tube insertion, access child, reposition, and check vital signs under 20 seconds. It doesn't matter, you can check it under 10 seconds, whatever you want, it's up to you, nurse. I have a nurse that will check every 15 seconds. She will check every 10 seconds. She's just so worried about the child, wants to make it. It's up to you. Every nurse knows what they are good at. You do what you have to do just to make sure your goal is to make sure that your child is safe. No sick. Okay, like I said earlier, you suction the child, you change the trach immediately. You don't see any secretion, and it's still disacting. 911. After you change the trach, 911, and that's what I'll tell them. There's nothing to this. I don't have to speak the terms, the terminology or whatever. I'm a nurse. I change the trach. I've suctioned the child. I've done this. I've done that. I've done everything in my power that I know. It's not working. I need help. 1717 Westland Street, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell them right away, and I'll hang up the phone, go back in there in case the child goes down. So for you to start your CPR. There's nothing to it. Just stand tall to what you know, what you're trying to do. I don't have to be speaking in tongues, medical tongues. I don't have to. This is what I know, and I know exactly what is needed, and that's what you will do. Don't worry about if you don't, your English doesn't sound well to them. Too bad, I'm a nurse. We don't speak English in school. There is a nursing English, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter. As long as you get to that answer, what you need to do, just make sure life depends on your hand. That's all. When you have that, you will go anywhere with it. Yeah, you might be better than me, that's okay. But this child is not going to die on my watch. I will do everything in my power, what I'm trying to do, to make sure this child is okay. And what you don't know, you tell the doctor. If you do it in a very waistline, they taught us in school, stand in your waistline. I forgot all that waistline. The trach fell down. I grabbed the trach, but I can't find the other one. What good is it going to be for the child to be dead than for you to save the child that we can kill the bacteria that goes in it? Prioritization as nurses. That's all I'm telling you guys. Please prioritize. Prioritize, because life, we might think his home health is okay. We still have good. You don't never know when things will go wrong. You never know. And that's all we're just encouraging. Proceed with CPR until help comes. Proceed with EMT and go to the hospital and with your emergency bag. Mom said, I want to go with my child. I want to go with my child. It's okay. She has the right to go with her child. Please, before we used to say, go with them and stay there with them until they have diagnosis. Because the state stopped paying. They stop. As soon as the paramedics picks them up, they stop. Funding stops right there. So we said, yes, it's true. I'm going to answer your question. So we said, grab the tablet, but that's where you will find it. You can grab the tablet, go in your car with mom. Give the bag, the emergency bag to mom, since she's going with them. Give it to them and follow them in your car. When you follow them in your car, you get to the hospital and you will give report. Please give report. Just a few days ago, I have a nurse. She's too right. She gave report. I told the nurse to leave, but the nurse was very good and said, Patricia, they told me that they're just going to check the leg. It might just possibly be that they're going to discharge them. So I was ready to let the company take the pay. You understand? Normally, nurse is supposed to go. No, with a situation like that, she went to the hospital. She's supposed to give report, get the name, and leave. But then she saw the situation. There's no mother, no father that's going to take this child back home, right? So she called and said, so what should, if I go home, they might. I said, okay, go back and talk to them there. That are they going to discharge that patient? If the child, eventually the child has a fracture, and if they decide they're going to keep him in the hospital without, they're going to, that money from the time that the nurse got there till the time she's leaving will be from the agency, because I sanctioned it. I told her to stay. We will have to pay her. You understand? But normally, they're not supposed to give report and leave. Your time is up. But she stayed. Thank God that she stayed, and the child was released to her, and she went back home. So we will be able to charge the state from the morning till the time that she left. But they will see that the child is not. It's just like going for an appointment. You can go for an appointment, right? And you come back home. We still get paid. So thank God. But if it goes other way around, we will have to bear the cost. So that's it. Next person, please. So emergency distress. Stay never to forget during respiration distress rules. Repositioning, because sometimes you want to put the trach in and it doesn't go in. Tilt their head up a little bit to get access. So you put the trach in and it goes in. Don't force trach in. Do not force it. If you try the first one and it doesn't go in, try step down. It's always there by the bedside. Just grab the step down, put that one in, and that's it. And if that step down is not going in, 911. 911. Immediately 911. If step down is not going in. And sometimes you bag your child From there, you grab your bagging child. If he's not going to start bagging, you're going to bag until they come. I'm going to be opening the little stomach. Or, you know, I'm going to find a straw, something, put it in there and start bagging. Bagging, you need hair to go in until help gets there. Because they might have to be intubated. No suction, I mean, when you suction, no secretion when you are suctioning, still change the tray. 911, you bag the child, CPR down if the child gets to the point that the heart just, because if the brain is not getting air, suction is going to start, the pressure is going to stop. So I just pray that we don't get to that level. But if you do, know what to do at the right time. E-bag and POC existing, you know, you see that on your plan of care. And that's something that we are starting to do now. I wanted to start sending the POC to the house. The paper POC, just mail it after the doctor signs it. I just mail it to the house, just for the record of the nurses in the home. So that way, some people, what if computers stop working? What if something happened with the computer, it's not doing anything? So it's not something that we just put in place to go from there. Next, show me the first.
Now that your child has a gastrostomy tube, or G-tube, you will need to know how to care for it at home. It is important to keep the G-tube site clean and dry to prevent skin breakdown and irritation. Before handling your child's G-tube, wash your hands with soap and water for 15 seconds, or use hand sanitizer. Gather your supplies on a clean surface. You will need a washcloth or cotton swabs, soap and water, and split gauze and tape. Remove the old dressing. Using warm water and mild soap, clean around the G-tube site using a washcloth or a Q-tip. Clean off all drainage from the skin. After cleaning the skin, rinse with only water and pat dry. Don't forget to clean every day. If your child has a GJ tube, do not rotate the tube. This could move it out of position. Use a split 2x2 gauze. Tape in place using the tic-tac-toe method. Start by placing one piece of the gauze under the G-tube button. First, put tape across the balloon port. With the safety cap open, put another piece of tape across the safety cap. Then, put tape across the top two pieces. Last, put tape across the bottom two pieces. A small amount of leakage or drainage around the G-tube is normal. This can be clear, yellow, or green. If redness or skin breakdown develops, you may use a skin barrier cream to heal and protect the skin.
Adjusting the rate and dose. Hold the on-off button down until it beeps. Let it cycle through the numbers. So, say Simon eats half of his meal orally. Then you will adjust the dose to 150 mLs. A full dose for Simon is 300 mLs. A half a dose is 150, and 3/4 of a dose I'd say would be about, 175 to 200 mLs, somewhere in there. So if we want to adjust the dose because he ate half of his meal, we know it's on the dose because it says right under the number 3 dose. So then we'll just lower it until it says 150, and I'm just holding the minus button down. And then there you go, 150 mLs. That's about a half a feeding for Simon. So if he eats orally half of his meal, then we can tube half of his tube feeding. You don't have to worry about saving the remainder of his tube feeding in the fridge. You can just rinse it out and flush it down. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. So that's all you need to do when you need to adjust the dose, depending on how much Simon ate. A full dose 300, half a dose 150, 3/4 of a dose is roughly, you know, maybe 200, I don't know, just, you know, ballpark is fine. It doesn't have to be exact. He's not starving. He'll be just fine. In my mind, what a half of a dose or a half of a feed. So at home, these are the plates I use for Simon. It's just kind of your small dinner plate. In my mind, a full feeding for Simon should be calorically roughly 400 to 600 calories. And a bowl, you know, about that size. So just kind of your standard soup bowl, your standard smaller salad plate kind of size. You know, roughly that big is what I would consider a full feeding. So just use your judgment. Feel free to call me anytime if you're wondering what a full feed is. If it's really hot and he's not drinking, you know, this is roughly, I think this is about 4 ounces. No, so this is 12 ounces. So, you know, on a really hot day, he should be drinking at least 6 to 10 ounces of water. And if not, we might talk about administering some additional water on some really hot days. So we'll just be talking about that.
You will need to change your child's trach at home, usually every 2 weeks, or however your doctor has instructed you. You will need same size trach, size smaller trach, suction catheter, lubrication, sterile water, water and 2 syringes for cuffed trachs only, trach ties, scissors, ambubag, and wedge. Prepare your child's trach by checking to make sure you have the right size, checking the obturator. If your child has a cuffed trach, be sure to check the cuff. Pre-fill a syringe with the appropriate amount of water. Place ties on the new trach. Lubricate the end of the new trach and place it back in the box. Place supplies and trach in front of you within arm's reach. Place a roll under your child's neck to lift the chin. For a cuffed trach, remove the water from the cuff. One caregiver will release the ties while the other caregiver holds the trach in place. One caregiver will hold the child's chin up. Suction child if needed. One caregiver takes off the adapter and gently pulls out the trach. The other caregiver will place the new trach into the stoma and pull out the obturator. Place the adapter back on. One caregiver will attach the ties, while the other caregiver holds the trach. Check the ties by placing one finger between the tie on each side of the neck. For cuffed trachs, fill the cuff with water. Suction child if needed. Your child will sometimes need help getting secretions out of their lungs. You can accomplish this by a process called suctioning. You will know when to suction by the look, listen, feel technique. Look at your child for any changes in color, like blue or pale lips, fingers, or toes. Increased work of breathing, facial expressions, secretions in mouth, around the stoma, or in the adapter attached to the trach. Listen to your child's breath sounds for wet, high-pitched noises. Feel your child's chest for vibrations. This may be coming from the secretions building up in the lungs. You will need suction catheter, suction machine, gloves sterile for hospital or clean for home, saline, water, wedge. When choosing a catheter size, use the largest catheter that fits inside the trach. This allows maximum clearance of secretions. Open the catheter package and put on the gloves. Grasp the suction catheter and place your finger and thumb at the appropriate suction depth. Use the obturator or same-size trach to measure depth. With your opposite hand, connect the suction catheter to the suction machine tubing. Take off any adapters from the trach. Apply suctioning while rolling the catheter between your fingers into and out of the trach for maximum removal of secretions. Limit passes to 3 times, then allow the child to rest if repeating is necessary. Call your doctor if you notice any changes in the secretions, if they are yellow or green in color, foul-smelling or thicker than normal, and if there are blood-tinged secretions lasting longer than 24 hours, or with other signs of illness. Be sure to wash your hands before beginning. You will need trach ties, Q-tips, soapy water and clean water, 4x4s or washcloths, dressing per child needs, and scissors. Once you have all the supplies together, you'll need to prepare your child for stoma and skin care. Place a rolled towel or blanket under the neck to gently lift the chin. Ties are kept in place while you clean the stoma. Using a rolling motion, clean each quarter area of the stoma first with a soapy Q-tip. Start from inside of the stoma and move outward to the end of the flange. Repeat this step using a dry Q-tip, using more than one if needed. Look for redness, bleeding, or granulation tissue around the stoma site. Granulation tissue is raised pink tissue that sticks up around the stoma. Have the second person hold the trach in place while the ties are taken off the trach. The first person will wash, rinse, and pat dry the child's neck, paying close attention to any redness, irritation, bleeding, or dryness. Attach the new ties to the flanges. trim the new ties by measuring along the neck for proper fitting. Only one finger should fit between the tie and the child's neck. Place supplies and trach in front of you within arm's reach. Place a roll under your child's neck to lift the chin. For a cuffed trach, remove the water from the cuff. Release the ties. With one hand, hold your child's chin up. With your dominant hand, take the adapter off and gently pull out the trach. Place the new trach into the stoma. Pull out the obturator. Place the child's adapter on. Secure the ties. For cuffed trachs, fill the cuff with water. Suction as needed. A Cincinnati Children's staff member will demonstrate on a doll what to do if the trach does not go in on the first attempt. If the trach does not go in on the first attempt, reposition your child and try again. If repositioning fails, call 911 on speakerphone. Try to place the size smaller trach. If the size smaller won't go in, reposition and try again. If the repositioning fails, pull the obturator out of the smaller trach. Place a suction catheter into the smaller trach. Place the catheter inside the stoma and slide the trach tube over the catheter and into the stoma. If the trach fails to go in, bag your child from above, using oxygen if needed, and place your fingers over the trach stoma. If your child cannot be bagged from above the trach site, bag the trach stoma. Remain calm and continue to provide support for your child until help arrives, which may include steps of CPR if your child loses consciousness and stops breathing. The steps of CPR can be reviewed in an additional video and class.
To patient care and the EMA. We all know that the EMA is where we sign our doc. And you know what we did was we always put the time for the time to be given. NCLES, NCLES, they said it's a perfect world. So, DSCC children are perfect kids. There is no 1 hour before, 1 hour after. Back in the days, that's when the nurses are having issues on hospitals and the nursing home, they brought it up and they went to Springfield. That's when they decided they're going to give 1 hour before, 1 hour after. You know, in the hospital, they give you 6 patients. And the nursery, they give you maybe 30 patients. You have to give medication. So 1 hour before, 1 hour after, you'll be able to at least get to all those patients within that time. That does not apply to DSCC children. They are NCLES children, we call them. So they say 9 o'clock, you're giving it at 9 o'clock. They say 6 o'clock, you're giving the medication at 6 o'clock. Your schedule is at 7 to 6. You have no business to sign in for 6 o'clock medication. You are not there at 6 o'clock, so you don't have to worry about it. Sign for the time that you are there. Say you come in at 7 o'clock and there's a 6 o'clock medication and mom never gave the 6 o'clock. As soon as you walked in, she told you, oh, I never gave the medication 6 o'clock. You give it. That's not everyday thing. You understand? It's just once in a while. You will give the medication and sign it at 7 o'clock when you come in, not for 6 o'clock. You sign for 7 o'clock. But you will go to your narrative and document and said 6 o'clock medication was not given by mom. Mom requested it to be given. It was given and it was tolerated well. That is explaining to me why you are in the business of 6 o'clock medication. But when you signed for 7 o'clock and you didn't put nothing in your narrative, what happened? Why are you doing that? You understand? So that's how you solve that. But then if it becomes something that mom does every time, then you want to reach out to the agency and say, it looks like she's not giving it at 6 o'clock. Can we move it to 7 o'clock? Then we can get an order and put it at 7 o'clock and we keep it rolling like that. That's all. Documenting in email correctly. I just said that now. All medication must be home at all times, including PRN. If they're not, call the pharmacy, get it in the home, please. It's very important. I said it earlier, we are charging nurses in the home. Confirming orders. If you are not sure, call this, this includes orders for feeding also. If you're not sure, let's call the doctor, let's clarify. Inform the office immediately for all new orders. Nurse has 2 hours to notify supervisor of any changes on POC. Yeah, we all know that. Next, please. Everybody knows that. Please, just let us know. Don't call the next day. I was trying to send it to you. Oh, I thought you knew. Immediately. I'm not saying I'm good myself. Send it to me doesn't mean I'm going to do it on time. Because it's really not. But still, clear your part. Do your part and let's work together on that. Sources of error. Confusion among oral liquid concentration, of course. Look-alike and sound-alike packages and names. Do not rely on what parent says. Read the POC and ensure all meds are reconciled. Please, it's very, very important. Mom said, the doctor said we are doing the, mom said, some nurses will tell you, mom said. I'm listening and say, are you the nurse or the mom? Why are you saying mom said? I will listen to the mom, but I will confirm. I need confirmation because I have a license. Mom doesn't have a license. The worst they will do to mom is just talk to mom. But the worst they will do to you is request that your license be held. You cannot work for any DSCC children until investigation is over. Do we need that? No, we don't. I don't want nobody to mess with my money. So I'm going to go buy the book. And please, if anything happens to that child, that mom will twist in a second. You will be surprised. I thought you said, no, I didn't say that to you. They will change. We've seen it before. That's the way they are. And you'll be wondering, this is the mom that I helped last time. I helped you to do this, helped you to do that. Do you think she remember that? No, she doesn't. She'll quick change on you. Be aware of adverse drug reaction effect. Sometimes I don't know myself, but I Google, thank God. Those days when I became a nurse, they don't have all that. We have to go read that lipping card or whatever they card to card. I read all those things all the time. But now, thank God, to Google. It takes me a second. I never tell people I don't know. I'm going to look into Google while I'm answering your question when I go on interview. I'm going to see it. I'm going to talk to you, think I know. And that's just the way it is. Be aware of they may be preventable or non-preventable. Exactly. Those preventable medication. That's even good. For non-preventable, you put it in already, that's it. You give them the Valium, 2 ml, and it looks like it's 20 ml, you get 20 ml instead of 2 ml, you are done. You better start calling 911. And I'll just bring my license in hand while I'm telling you, you want to keep it. You might want to keep the license. Because I wouldn't even wait for you to ask for it. I'll just hand it over to 911. Give it to them, I'm done. Because if there are some medication that you can't mess with. You do the wrong thing, you know you're done with them. I'll retire that time. Follow the POC when there is discrepancy between mom and parent. Just follow the POC. POC says 20 ml, I'm giving 20 ml now. I know you said it's 50, but let me just give what the plan of care says. And I will follow up the rest. But to be on the same page, you can give the rest of the 30 ml while I find out. Then I'll call the agency. The POC said 20, mom said 50. Oh, do you have an order for extra 30? No, I don't have an order. Does mom have an order? Yes, she doesn't have an order. Okay, let mom give it. Let's find out from the doctor and get an order. That's all that is to it. It's very simple. It's not like you're fighting mom. You're just telling mom that your license is too important too. I love you so much, but I'm not going to lose my license over this. That's all that is to it. You cannot administer any medication without an order. If a parent insists, step aside and have them administer it. Then document the parent gave the medication and call supervisor. That's all I just said. All medication not marked PRN on the EMA must be given unless discontinued. by an order or noted that parent declined. Either or. If the medication is only to be given PRN, Senna. I remember at home, my sister here was working in a home and he said Senna, and the father said he wanted PRN. They would document as PRN until I got an order to change it to PRN. They were documenting that the father says no, I don't want it. Document the father doesn't want it until I got an order. The doctor said okay, and now it's a PRN. But always document because the medication is scheduled to be given according to plan of care. Father is the one saying don't give, right? So we still check it, not giving, father decline until an order is taken, and that's what we did. Medication administration must be recorded immediately after administered. If it wasn't recorded, then it wasn't given. Nurse involved will be subject to disciplinary action. Yes, sir. Yes, I know that. But whatever, let's move on. There is a potential legal ramification for nurses who disregard this based on the Illinois Nurse Practice Act. We all know that. Next, please. We all know that we go by the plan of care. When we go against it, you might get away with it all the time, but they said one day is for every day is for the thief. One day is for the owner. When you're being corrupt, we are all. Trust me, I'm not any better than any nurse. We are all the same. We all know how we cut corners. But believe me, when your day comes and you're in it, just find a way to get out. That's all I can tell you. Follow access. Oh, documentation. Access. We all know that this is now the biggie one. We actually took access. We made, look at this one. This is all about the charting, access charting. I gave everybody, this is all about access. I'm not going to talk that much about access, but this is all about the documentation. Each access, it says agency access charting guideline pre-hire training. This, if you know this, you won't have any problem with charting access. Please, that's why we're giving it again. Please, it's very important. It actually, can you go on a flow sheet? Is it possible to go on a flow sheet? No, it's not. I know. So don't worry about it. I don't want to mess you up with that. So, if you look at this that we're giving you, remember it's shift initiation. Shift initiation is the first thing you see on your flow sheets, right? Every section is addressed, how they want it to be documented. Every section. Shift initiation, it tells you how to document everything I just talked about the narcotics and everything that you got, how you document it, it's here. If you know even a sample of charting, pre-shift and post-shift, every sample is here. If you can just take a look when you're doing your charting on your flow sheet, this will help. You won't have any issue. If you have anything, you can call and we can go from there. Most of the nurses here, they are doing excellent charting. Excellent charting. You don't put too much stuff in here. Especially when you are doing your narrative, nurses put a lot of that can. I don't like charting myself to go to jail. I like charting myself. I like you to call me to verify what do you mean by this. That's better. When you are charting, you receive the chart. Your narrative is where you are telling me what you did, but that's not your intervention. The whole concept of that flow sheet is your assessment. I come in this morning, shift initiation, neuro, I saw this is what the child gets, this is the respiratory, this is the GI, this is the daily care. All those things they are all assessment. But when you get to narrative, you are telling me what you did. 8 o'clock I came in, I received the child from mom. Child was alive, child was okay, G-tube is in place, this one is in place, everything is fine. That's what you're telling us. Oh, I have to feed the child, feeding initiated at 41 ml an hour. It's tolerating well. The child was repositioned. The child was alleviated from pressures, all those things that you are saying. As you are doing it, you are chatting. You are only telling me what you did. But if you put it in your narrative and say, oh, child was suctioned at 9 o'clock, child suction, tolerated well, moderate amount of secretion was out, right? You tell me that on your narrative. Quick, the surveyor is going to go to your suction log and check, did you chart it? Because you know the log is your intervention. If you forget to chart it on your narrative, it's okay, they don't mind. 9 o'clock, you suction, but you went to suction log and you put it in a suction, right? But when you went to your charting, you forgot to write it. That's fine. But when you put it in your narrative and it didn't go to your suction log, That's not good at all. That means you didn't do it. You're just telling me what you did and you didn't do. So be careful. Those laws are where your intervention is. The supplies. How are you going to tell the state that you covered yourself while you're walking? That's how you tell them. Click, as I said, you click it, it tells you, it takes you to a space whereby it says no supply recorded. You go to the right hand corner and click on it, and it shows you a place to chat. Just put GLO, like I always said, GLO, a lot of things will come up. Scroll down to the bottom, and you will see PPE there. Click it just one time. Click it and the date, you are done. That's how you're telling them that I protected myself while I'm working today. Then you go again to your email, sign your email. Well tolerated on each medication you give. Well tolerated under your comment. Just I always put it in, like I said to people, I always put it in there, just copy the well tolerated. I go to each of my medication, I just click and paste. And it takes no time. Make sure you change the time to the time of the exact time that the child is medicated, unless what I said earlier about giving medication that wasn't supposed to be in your shift. That's it. It's really nothing to it other than, if you look at the paper that I gave you guys, trust me, it will be easy for you. It's not, and you know what, me personally, it's the same thing that happens every day. I always say it to nurses. It's the same thing, it's the same patient. The same routine, you give 12 o'clock. Some children are so good at, it's 12 o'clock, they have to go to the bathroom. It's the same time they do everything. They are used to the pattern. So if I have that, trust me, I put everything on my word at home. I just click my word and I paste it in there. You do the same thing at 12 o'clock. I click it, I put it in there. That's all you do. And it makes your child faster. When you know already, there's only one patient, but you know what? Normally, if you have 2-3 patients, it's very hard. Sometimes you are talking about AD, you put in B to C, you turn it on. Trust me, we find that out and we'll let you know when you go from there. That's if you have 2-3 patients. GI, complete entire section. Indicate name and strength of formula flush and follow the POC. Like I said, when you go to that GI, just copy the order from the plan of care and put it on that comment. That's all. That's for us to know. It doesn't have to be your shift. Beginning of shift, Q2 hours, and end of shift. That's when I talk about your assessment, pre and post shift. Documenting G-tube trach vent, I and O, narcotic, glucose, and ketones, of course. Look in the paper, written is there. I did put it in there so I won't have to waste your time today. Watch timeless and appropriateness of documentation. Yes, then there was a nurse that was chatting. She chatted 1 o'clock. And next chatting was 3, he was just, it's every 2 hours, right? So what she chatted, like let's say you chat 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock is the next one. So she chatted 3:05. And that child that they are taking care of was the one that we do survey on. Did you know that they brought the nurse's name back to me and tell me that this nurse chatted more than every 2 hours? It was only 5 minutes. 5 minutes. She said 1 o'clock chatting and 3:05. Why would you think it would be a big deal? Her name came. They wrote her name, her license, and everything. I showed you, saw that. They wrote everything. This nurse particularly did not chat every 2 hours or less. She's chatting every exact 2 hours. That's why I keep telling nurses, when you chat, sometimes you can do 1 hour 45, 1 hour 50, you understand? But when you say 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, they are now looking. They're looking, I don't know why, but they are looking. And I did a survey, the last survey that I just did, because 2021 survey we did already. We just passed. So they sent, but that was one of the corrections they wanted to make, to talk to that particular nurse. And of course, because of my relationship with them, with the director, she was able to just wave it. But she still put it down. She still put it down. But to me, I was like, but that's little. It's nothing like that. She said, Patricia, we have to definitely see. I said, so you see everything. How can you even see that little? I don't understand. She said, it's a survey. When it comes to survey, we check everything. Everything we have to check to make sure that the cleaning, they saw the cleaning. I didn't have that before. On that ETAR, there was no cleaning. If you all can remember, there was no cleaning. That was part of my plan of correction to make sure that we are signing it on ETAR. For the homes that they did survey on, I had to do a paper immediately to send it to those nurses, sign, so I can send it to them so that we can pass. And that's what we did. So I now did a plan of correction to make sure that moving forward, we have a place to sign our equipment in the home. For that little thing, what makes you think we go to work and we don't do it, we don't clean? We clean by hand ourselves. But HFS that's giving the funding, they want to see, are you cleaning? Yeah, right. Are you washing your hands? We're nurses. Isn't that what we do? But that's their protocol, and we have to follow if we want to be in their business, if we want their business. So without complete documentation, use of supplies, all notes closed within 48, QA to view on Mondays. Okay, they told us that already. It's very hard. We are all humans. So we give up to, payroll, like for example, payroll is tomorrow. By Monday, all notes supposed to have been in, because the last Saturday, on Monday, all notes, we at department needs to give it to payroll Monday, 5 o'clock. So you can imagine from 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock, we can't check everybody's note. It's so hard. So that's why we start over the weekend. Salem will call me all weekend. This not did not do that. I said, you know what, maybe after in service, after we see face to face, things will change. So that they will understand what our situation dilemma is, so that they will work with us. Please, it's 2 weeks note. By Saturday, your last, like for example, what is the payroll now? It was from the 9th till the 22nd. From the 9th to 22nd, it's the payroll that we're getting tomorrow. So on the 23rd, 24th, when we come in on Monday, all those papers were supposed to have been cleared. So we only have 5 o'clock to submit to the payroll. If not, trouble comes, they don't pay them. Then if they don't pay the nurses, I'm crazy too with the nurses. Some nurses here will know. If they don't pay you, I'm crazy. I'm fighting them. I'm screaming. I'm yelling. I'm calling. I'm going out of my way. Like, you're going to pay these nurses, or I'm going to lose them. I don't want to lose them. They're good. They're important as much as the patient. You understand? But at least I want the nurses to be on the same page with us. So please, let your documentation. When you don't submit, when you save, they can't pay. I've been paying all the saved notes. Nurses will just save. And I'll go ahead and pay. But moving forward from after this in-service, when it's charting is saved, we're not going to pay. You have to actually submit. When you submit, I'll be able to audit. When I audit, then we can say complete. When we say complete on it, it goes directly to payroll. They don't have to call me. It's done. But let's say you're charting, you are supposed to be working 7 to 7, and your last charting is 6:45. That's when they pay you till. They don't pay you till the time you punch out. Because it's a fraud according to the SEC. You charted 6:45 and said you gave the child, like the care coordination, you said 6:45 care was given to mom. Your last note says 6:45. That's when but you clocking out at 7 o'clock. They're not going to pay you till 7. They will pay you till 6:45. That's why I said to you that when you 6:45, make sure that's when you do your assessment. At that time that you are leaving, chart and say report was given to mom. That's all you need to chart. Report is given to mom at 7 o'clock. They will pay you today, but that's when you're giving report. And that time you are saying you're giving report at 7 o'clock, make sure your care coordinator rhymes with what you wrote on your last narrative charting. They need to be together. You do that, you're fine. If you come in a little bit late and you're the only nurse in that house, you come in at 7:02. Let your last charting be 7:02. That way, if you say 7 o'clock, they're not going to pay you that 2 minutes that you are late, or maybe 5 minutes that you are late. You understand? So please, let's just work like that and we will be okay. Next thing, please. What's going on?
No, ma'am.
Document? No, go back. Go back.
Can you explain a little bit more about repositioning on ETAR?
The repositioning.
And range of motion.
Okay.
Because it says you have to reposition it if the patient sleep when the patient's sleeping.
Repositioning and when patient is sleeping, even when patient is alert, you still reposition.
But the patient is active. Like if you have a year and a half years old.
So you document. Patient is active, is repositioning himself.
So on ETAR is supposed to be nothing on it?
No, you maintained it. You are watching the child repositioning himself. Right, there's a spot you can write. Child, patient active, able to move around, able to move all extremities.
I can't put that in my narrative.
I put it in the comment side.
Okay, what about the ETAR?
That's in the ETAR, you have a place there that you put the outcome. There is a place that you can put it in there. You write it in there. Where you put it in there, that sanitizing and that place, you can write it in there. If the child is active, all patient has to be active, repositioning. If he stays in this wheelchair, even the last guy, He sits in this wheelchair for 2 hours. We're gonna move him around, put a pillow right here, just do something. And if he's doing it himself, moving around, you say it is better. He's able to do it. He's independent. Independent of all extremities. He's doing it himself, so you don't have to do it. But you still need to document because you're seeing him doing it. That's it. Any questions before because it's after this, what do we have? And we'll have lunch? Okay, what's the time? Is it 1:30 yet?
1:20.
1:20? That's the food. Can you find out this food? Process. We see that already. All notes closed within 48 hours. Okay, so in the meantime, the little time that you have before we find out lunch is ready, can you all just sign this for us and we'll take it? The folder that I will give you, if you can, no, this is all yours. No, this is all, everything is yours. All I need is this part. I need this part and I need this part. I'm going to talk about this part. Okay. I only need 2 things, that's it.
Which one?
Just this part. Initial and sign. And put today's date. And your orientation, this part. That's all I need. Okay. Say it again? It's just an acknowledgement of what we're doing today. That's it. And the orientation. That's it. That's all I need. Yeah, that one and that one. That's it. That's all I need. Yeah, that's it. And this one. Yeah. Just sign it. Please don't put a date to the orientation part. And this I gave everyone. Please take it home to the house that you're working. So that way you can replace your timesheets.
Don't put date in what?
On your orientation part. I remember I said it that any home, right there. Yeah. Oh, thank you. SEC cases. All the SEC cases, for all of them, this right here is the guideline that they give us to give all our nurses. If you remember when you apply, you all initial and sign. This is very important and you have a copy also. When you read this, you'll be able to know everyone. It talks about communication with family. It talks about everything about those families, how you can work with them very well. It talks about since they are not ready, maybe they're not ready, right? 15 minutes, okay. Let me use that 15 minutes for my last note, so I won't have to do it anymore. Huh? Oh, yeah, please. The bathroom is right there. Take a look, the bathroom is right there. Why don't you? I'm sorry, guys. If you want to use the bathroom, it's right there. You don't have to. She's not here. Oh, you? Annie. Oh, that's another type of, that's a G2. Another type of G2. Let's get another one. What, this morning? You are only signing here. Except for Miss Augustina. Miss Hosanna, right there. Miss Kayla. Where's Miss Kayla? Miss Rachel. Oh, Miss Rachel. Right there. She's right there. Miss Caroline. What? Miss Mojuba. Miss Shola. Where's she? That's her chair, right? Miss Achi. Oh, she's not here. Miss Gill did not come. I know. I see. Hi, how are you? Miss Pam is not here. Miss Nadia? Hi, Nadia. Miss Fanny. Where's Miss Fanny? Right there. Miss Kim. Where's Miss Kim? Give it to her. Miss Kristen. Right there. Give it to her. Miss Kelechi. Mr. Sampson. Mr. Food ready? Thank you. Can I have the other one? The one in my bag? A little bit. That's my dog. Don't be too.
So we have another scheduler in my team that's LIBC right there standing. Hi.
Hi.
All right. So we thank you so much for working along with us. I appreciate all your patience that you have. We want to talk about calling off timeline. We have about 4 hours, as Ms. Pat has spoken earlier, at least in advance, maximum 4 hours for us to give us before you call off for your time, so that we can find a replacement for you. And you can contact me and let me know instead of Ms. Pat, because that's my part of the job, to find another person to schedule for you instead. Call off within permitted time must be by text and phone calls, or it will be considered as no call, no show. Side arrangements with parents are not allowed, and the risk for that is you being removed from the case, which we do not want. So you having that, of course you can have the relationship of with the parent, but don't forget that you are working for us and you are working with us. So tell us, even though the parent will tell you, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's switch this around, doesn't matter, just contact me or contact OLIBC or Ms. Pat as well, and we can take care from it from there. Respecting your acceptance schedule. So don't take or accept cases if you're not available for them. Requests for reassignments of cases or resignation, at least give us 2 weeks so we can find someone else. We have a nurse before that just texted us and was like, I'm not about to continue. And that really messed up everything, because now we have a mom who has plans of her own and then a child who needs someone to take care of them. But the nurse just doesn't want to come anymore, and she didn't tell us. So that was a whole mess. So please consider us as well, because now we have a lot of stuff to do, but then this nurse messed it up, so how do we solve the situation, you know? So we're all people, so let's be kind. So the timeline, nurse must work full 2 weeks after the calling off. And during that 2 weeks, you have to work every single day of that 2 weeks. If you don't work one of the days, even though the 2 weeks is done, you still have to make it up on another day. So it might be on the 3rd week, but it doesn't matter, because that 2 weeks all the days of that 2 weeks has to be worked. Work within schedule hours, or hours will not be paid. As Ms. Pat said earlier, if your scheduled time is from 7 to 7, don't say 7 to 6:40 something or 7 to 6:30, especially your narrative. Because if that's how it is, then that's what we're going to pay. So please make sure that your narrative time and all your note time start from 7 exactly and then ends at 7 o'clock. Because we do want you to get paid for all the hours that you work. No private scheduling without permission of scheduling team, like I said. Let me know, even though mom says, oh, can you come in for like an hour or 30 minutes or so? Doesn't matter, still let us know so we can put it down for you and make sure that you're paid for that. After meet and greet, nurses will have 1 day to accept a case, or it will be reassigned to another nurse. Those case lists that we text you, all nurses get that. So if you're interested in one case, make sure, realize that someone else is interested in that as well. So you have 1 day specifically just for you to have that. And if you don't want it anymore, just let us know, and then we'll give it to someone else. Let's go to the next one. Our responsibility to the state. So we update the state with your license on each new cases that you accept. We will confirm your CPR is valid or not valid issued from online only courses. So we don't do online courses for CPR, so we don't accept that. Ensure DCFS mandatory reporter certificate is done, and it's only done once, and that's okay. Clear from DCFS background check, then we're able to assign you to any cases that you have picked. Valid Social Security matches your license, and then we'll be good. If it doesn't, then we have to figure that out. And you have a properly insured vehicle, then you would have to sign, if you don't have a properly insured vehicle, you would sign a car waiver. But if not, then we will be clear on that as well. So nurses' responsibility. All nurses are required to stay in compliance and make sure all credentials are valid and up to date in order to be active in field. So before, because sometimes we'd be desperate, we would just let you go on a case that you are assigned, even though some of your credentials are not in. But moving forward, we're not going to do that. If your credentials are not up to date, if your physical has expired, if your insurance has expired, anything like that, we're going to have to stop and then make sure that all your credentials are in, and then we can move forward with that. So whenever we text you or email you or ask you, please cooperate with us. And Ms. Pat, you want to add?
Yes, with that part, the first one that she said, normally when new nurses come in, and we're not going to wait for your physical or your what you call it, your TB test and all that. We will tell you go ahead, go and do the meet and greet. We've already checked your license. We know that you are okay, you are up, but what we are waiting for, maybe TB test, maybe physical, we will tell you, okay, you know, just go ahead because the next payroll is going to be another 2 weeks. Nurses tends to just leave it there. It's like, oh, you let me start work, that's it. They wouldn't even turn back and bring the physical, or they wouldn't even do the physical at all. Then it's becoming, that might be the time the state wants us to bring that note, because every single case you're going on, they want your name, your license, to everything now. So when I don't have your physical in place, just because I gave you the go ahead and walk, don't forget it. Try to know that it's a favor from us for you to start walking. Because I know you don't want to stay home until maybe the appointment is 2 weeks from now. Do you want to stay home to start? No. So I tell you, go ahead and start walking. Just make sure I get that physical. But nurses just forget about it. Oh, it's your problem. Then you know what? We hold the checks and we're not going to pay them. The nurses get mad. Because that's the only way any agency gets nurses to do what they need to do, period. Let's be frank. If I hold your check, it's the only time you're going to turn around and go, okay, I'm going to get it to you. Because they want your check. So please, guys, let's just work together so that we don't get in any trouble. Thank you. Come on.
So you can send all your renewal updates of your credentials to that email or my email as well. That's Salim G, and then the @serenityhhc.com. And with that, please update the HR with name, address, and phone or email changes that you might have. If your file is not updated, you may not be placed to any other cases. Questions for me?
With that being said, guys, the part where it says send updated renewal to faxes. Faxes is for the company's email, right? Then they will send it. We have three different departments in Serenity. They have the aging, they have the home nursing and all that. So I will encourage, disregard that part. Send your credentials to exact department, which is Sally G Serenity @hhc.com, which I'm sure everybody has been sending to, or Olabisi D, which is they will send it to your test. They will send you those tests just to verify. Because me, I won't send mine, because that means other department will get to see my Social Security or something. I will not go through with that. So I just want to put that out there. So don't send it in disregard.
So, question?
Thank you, everybody. What's next after you? Oh yeah. We have another presenter. I will bring her in a minute. That's all right.
Good afternoon. So, my name is Omolola. I'm the admin for pediatrics. So, I'm going to talk to you about the HR documentation, which is quite necessary. So, talk about HR supports the pediatrics department to make sure we're in compliance with the company policy, the IDPH, and also the DSCC policy. So we have to make sure that we need to keep our clients protected, our license protected, then also your nursing license protected. So when you come in for registration, make sure you have your documents. I've heard Then when it's time for you to update it, make sure it's been updated. Then also payroll is getting more strict. We need to have all your documentation in place to put payroll so you can get paid. So if you don't have all your documentation, there's a probability you might not get paid. So this is very necessary, and you need to ensure that you have all your documents with us. Then also, IDPH and DSCC require we have the following time-sensitive documents. Your license, it has to be active. Then your TB test has to be renewed depending on what kind of TB test you've done. So if it's quantiferin, it's every 3 years. If it's chest X-ray, then every 5 years. If not, it has to be yearly, and you need to set yourself like a reminder to make sure that it's being done at the right time. So we don't have to come after you to ask you for your documents. You can set a reminder for yourself. Then also we need your physical exam yearly. Then on the CPR, every 2 years, your driver's license has to be current. When it's due for renewal, have it done. Then your auto insurance too, we need to have it. If you're not driving, or there's a reason for you don't want to drive, or you just want to drive, then you need to submit or sign the travel waiver form. So basically, we need you to help us, to support us, because we have a lot of documents pending. A lot of people have some things they need to submit, which I'm sure the schedulers, Ms. Salem, is trying to get from 1 or 2 of us. So we need to make sure we have this in at the right time. So that's it. Then, okay. So like I said again, your credentials, set reminders for yourself. If you have, when you have to send it, you can send to Salem or to Ms. Olabisi. I don't know if you've been introduced to her yet. She's a new member of the team. So you can scan it, you can have a screenshot with your phone, or you send it by email. It's all acceptable. Then you send to Salem, Miss Olabisi, or Miss Patricia. So thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is our admin.
Oh.
Next name? Is that right? Okay. I think this we can do right after lunch, because we still have like 30 minutes lunch. What's the time now?
It's 1:44.
Almost 2 o'clock. 1:45. So 2:15 we'll return, and we can use the rest of the time to finish up. So 1:45 now. You all can come to the room and we can serve you. Thank you all. Just come on, the food is ready. Let's eat lunch for 30 minutes. We'll be back at 2:15 and we can finish up. Moving on, we would like to call Mr. Lighton SOB. She is the payroll manager. She will be presenting the next slide. And please welcome Mr. Lighton. How are you? Thanks for coming.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lighton. I'll be presenting one or two things that are key for us so that we can be paid every payroll period. So, I'd like us to please respect the agency's deadline. So the deadline is for us to please submit our notes Monday every noon, because there's a process in-house where we need to process payroll. So we actually need our notes to be in so that the scheduling team can actually send our schedule to the payroll departments, because the payroll departments too work with a time frame. So there's always a time frame for us to process paychecks, and it has to be ready before the payday. So I know that it's a peculiar department. It's stressful for, I know it's not easy for us out there because we do a lot of hours, and it's not easy also for the schedulers to bring in those hours together, because we have clients that have multiple nurses in there and they have to collect them and all that. So I know it's not easy, but it slows down the payroll department too, because there's a time frame for us to submit the payroll. So I'm pleading that her notes should be in every Monday before noon, so that we can actually process the payroll for everybody. So by weekly by monthly deadline lateness, write up on payroll protocols. I'm going to itemize 2 and 3 together. Late paperwork cannot be processed and we hold on processing your payroll. So it's still the same thing. If, for example, now, probably we forgot to put in one of our notes for a particular day because we process payroll bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks, assuming we have one note for missing within 2 weeks, it slows us down because we want to make sure that everybody's being paid. So we are actually pleading that if we want us to process our payroll for 2 weeks, we need to make sure all our notes are in, please. And if we don't submit our notes for a particular day, we have to hold on and not pay for that particular day until the next payroll. So it's our notes so that we can process. We payroll will not process any payroll if notes are not completed. So I know that most times we try as much as possible to plead with the schedulers or dispatch, but we payrolls too we have our own guidelines to process payroll. And the item 4 says, time outside assigned schedule will not be processed unless approved by the scheduling team. So if you are scheduled to see a client between 7 to 12, assuming 7 a.m. to 12 p.m., and we probably there's a change in plans due to any reason, we need to contact the scheduling team because there's already a schedule on the app saying we're going to be there for a particular period of time. They have to be notified. For them to change the time, you have to be okay with them, because if you go in and I'm sure you're going to have issue with your clock in and clock out, right? And this is going to affect the payroll. It's going to affect the team that will be handling the payroll period. So when we are going to see our clients and it's not actually the time that we are being scheduled, can we please call the scheduling team to actually work with us so that we can actually make an adjustment on the system. Time on access must coincide with your assigned shift. So it's almost the same thing. So it has to be the same time, and time clashing and overlapping. So we have clients that we have 2 or more nurses going in. So if nurse 1 is being scheduled 7 a.m. to 12 then, and the other nurse is being scheduled 1 p.m. to 5 then, we can, assuming the nurse 1 actually went in there late, but you actually know you want to spend your 5 hours, you can't do anything outside your scheduled hours, because there's a nurse already that is going in there that is going to clock in around 1 p.m. So we need to actually please be on time so that so that everybody can be paid fairly according to what we're supposed to do. Because we can't actually bill more than 24 hours. We only have 24 hours in a day. Document completeness, pass audit, or notes to be returned. So for audit purpose, there are times that we see that the notes are not actually done properly. It's just, I know it can be stressful after completing your notes and it's being returned for us to fill. It's not easy, but please, I would like to encourage us to please try to make sure that every document that's sent back to us, or every document that needs to process, can be used to process our payroll, we need to actually provide it for us to make it very smooth and easy for the people to that actually working in the office. So for clocking and clock out on access, it's very important for electronic visit verification. If we have issues with our clocking and clock out, we can always call the office and talk to the scheduling department. They have to know. Even if there's an issue with your app, they have to know. So that manually, probably they let us know that this nurse actually went in, something went wrong. You have to process the payroll. We need an approval for that. So all documentation too has to write, because the truth is, if we don't see what we're supposed to see, even though Ms. Pat or the scheduling team tells us this is what we stand or whatever policies, we know it's actually right. So thank you for all that you do. We are really grateful, and if you have any issues with the payroll department, you can always reach out to Ms. Pat or reach out to me. Thank you.
Does anyone have a question to ask the payroll department? No? You understand
Are you
everything?
going to pay for save?
For a safe?
Oh, when you save, no, I said that earlier. We used to pay for save, but not anymore. Because I'm the one that gets in trouble. Because I do think if you save your note, I'm able to call you to tell you to please finish it. But now that nurses are just putting the save, they're not doing their notes. I'm so sorry. Moving forward, save. Actually, when we pull the report, we put it in there, all completed notes. So only completed notes will come up to the payroll that they will pay.
It doesn't
The
come up.
save one will not come up. So I'm sorry if you don't put it. If you put it in save, it will not be paid until you do it. It will be next pay. So, and like I said, the paper signing has to be. Let us know so that I will give the permission for you to do paper because they don't tend to pay us on time. So that's why we like it. We see it already when you guys sign in. So thank you very much. We appreciate. Let's continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
I appreciate your participation. Thanks. Okay, now this is the last part of the what's the time?
2:25.
I don't have no more than 15 minutes. We need to, because I want us to leave afterwards, just a couple minutes after. So 3 o'clock, before 3 o'clock, we need to finish. Critical issues in private duty nursing. No call, no show. We've talked about it. I'm not going to go into it. We know that. Phone use on duty. It's a no-no. I know this world that we are in now, we are always on our phone. Our phone is our life. Everyone in the world, if you don't use your phone in like 15 minutes, you look like you are not, am I dead? What's going on? I need to be on my phone. I understand how addicted that we've been on our phone. But according to DSCC, they said no phone calls. You cannot be on your phone testing. How can you monitor your child? How can you monitor your patient? You can't be on your phone 24/7. There are some nurses that are so addicted to it that they are always on their phone. You forget the time to give the medication. You get the time, oh, I'm running, and then you started running. They don't want that. Let's try our best. And you know what, personally, as a supervisor, when the mom calls me to report the nurses on phone, it's very hard for me to, I know what the DSCC wants and I know how we are. I use my phone too, but I try my best that when I'm in the home, you less be on your phone. Because when you're on your phone, the parent, you get so convenient with it, that parents will see it. And some people will call and say, what's the point of you being here when you're on your phone all the time? So me, I go there, and even if the child is stable, I'll be watching. That's when I watch Johnny. Hi, Johnny, you lying, Johnny, whatever on that children stuff. I put it in, and I'm start talking to them. Hey, Johnny, yes, Papa. How are you? Yes, Papa. I'm doing all that. Trust me, I make myself into the child, especially when the child is the one that I can. They don't need to talk to me, but I'm making myself like a clown. I do that all the time. People that know me know that's the way I walk. I'm always just, you don't want me to be on the phone. I don't want to be on the phone either. Because I spend money too much when I'm on the phone. If my son don't call me, my friend will call me, it's all about giving money. So I don't want to be on the phone. So I put my phone on the side. You don't understand? The only time my phone is important to me is when I talk to nurses. When nurses need me, when nurses want me to do this, what can I do about this? I love doing that on the phone. So let's try our best to limit the phone call because normally, as soon as they write it, the mom said, they just call DSCC. And you know what? We try our best to have a good rapport with those parents so that when they report the nurse using phone, I will use my style to kind of like calm them down, you know, like don't go to the state to report. Because as soon as you go to the state, I have to go by the book that the state gave us. But if the mom said, okay, just tell her not to use the phone, I said, okay, I'll do that. Then I will talk to the nurse, just reduce it and all that. But there's no point. When you have a home that you are working with, do you want to be going places to places? No, you don't. You want to stay in one place, it feels okay. I just want to have a good rapport with the mom and just, it's only 8 hours or 12 hours, maximum 16 hours. I'm out of here. And that money will continue. The child stays home. I do what I need to do for the child to stay home. When I get a case, I have a friend in this audience that whenever she gets a case, she wants her case to stay home forever. She doesn't want it to go to the hospital because it messes with her money. She doesn't like that. She makes sure that, honey, I'll do whatever I gotta do to keep this child so that you can stay home. So you don't mess with my money, I'll be able to stay long on this case. So please, that phone issue has been a lot of problem for parents. Let's just try to reduce a little bit so that we can. It says entanglement, not accepting gift. Okay. By the DSCC, we can even give no more than $25 to parents or to anyone. Say you go to the house, we want to help them. We have some of them that are less privilege. You want to help. You cannot go more than 25. See, there's an incident one time whereby a nurse went to the house. She wanted to walk and the TV fell and the TV broke. Mom wants her TV back. We have to tell the SCC that nurse paid for the TV. But because the TV is about $190, that's way more than $25. We have to report to the SCC to let them know what happened, and we're willing, the nurse is willing to pay back. So we bought the TV, she bought the TV, she sent us the receipt, we send it to the SCC. It's a long thing that goes along with that. But anything above 25, we have to let them know. Likewise, we are not supposed to take any present, any gift from them at all. We all know that. We work in a nursing home. The family comes and give everybody Christmas money. The building got to know about it. You take it behind, that is illegal. You can't take present from any staff, any patient. You cannot. Because you know what? They love the fact that you are helping them. They love the fact that you are caring for them, so they want to be appreciated. But since it's against us, why take? Why are you taking? Are you being paid? I mean, I don't know nurses. I don't know how nurses feel. I never feel comfortable taking, even if you're rich. I don't know if you're a millionaire. Yeah, maybe I can say they can keep my license. But if you're just a regular person like me, I won't take. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, that person might just want to be appreciated to the nurse because they see how helpful you are. They see what you're doing and they appreciate it. So they wanted to give you something. I will tell them, thank you so much. This is what I love to do. I'm happy that I'm helping you. Because I believe one thing, I'm helping you. You have no idea what the Lord is doing in my life. Wonderful things. The fact that I'm giving you, I'm helping your family, I'm getting blessing from the Lord. And that's very, very sufficient for me. And I'm sorry I can't take the money. But I really appreciate it. It doesn't hurt to say that to them. Why take their money? What does it do? We make our money. And believe me, the Lord will bless the one you make and do better things with it. So please, let's try to refrain ourselves from taking gift from this family. Disagreement with patients' family. Yes, we've seen that a lot all the time. Arguing. When I go to your home, I'm not here to argue with you. This is your home, your child. You know how to care for your child. I'm only here to support you. I'm only here to help you. But I'm not here to tell you this is the way it needs to be done. No, we're going to do it like this. That's the way I do it. I've been a nurse for 25 years. I know this is the way we do it. And that's the way it's going to be done. No, it's not. Doesn't work. This is their home, their children, their child. You need to respect that. The mom might be a drug addict. That's a different issue. She's still the mother to that child. And you have to respect that. This is our home. We have to respect it. If I see the only time, because we are mandatory reporter, we have to report. Say you come in a bomb, she just is slapping the kid or leaving the kids at home or hurting the child. Of course, you are an advocate to the patient, right? It doesn't even have to be your patient. If she's doing it to another patient and another child in the home, you are mandatory reporter to report that parent. Because guess what? If she actually hurt that child, you will feel bad that, and I saw her doing this, and I never said anything. Now they say she killed this child. Oh my God. Oh my God. You will regret it. I will come out to those parents and say, you know, yesterday I was here. I didn't like the idea of the way you treated your daughter, the other daughter. I'm a nurse. I have a license. Please, this shouldn't happen anymore. Because I will be forced to report to you. She's going to tell them she doesn't want me. That's okay. She's going to say she doesn't want the agency. I'd rather leave as an agency than for me to be my nurse in there that witness and abuse and not say anything. So please, nurses, weigh your options. Weigh it. I know we need the money. I know we need the case, but we don't want to be part of any mess in the home. A very good nurse came to me and said something about what's going on in the home. DCFS, of course. Those parents get involved with DCFS, whatever is going on with them. It's none of our business what DCFS is coming to do in the house. They come to the house to maybe want to follow up on something about the mother that did for years, I don't know. But when they come, you as an agency nurse, you are there to care for child A. If they're coming in there for child B about some incident that happened before, I don't have any business with that. And I'm not going to tell you anything that you want to know. Because if I tell you something that you want to know and you use it to prosecute the mother or whatever, that mother come looking for you and kill you. That's your problem. Because you don't know where people are thinking now. I don't get involved in anything in that home. Hi, how are you? Oh, I work for Serenity Home Health, and I'm here for John Doe. Then, you are the mother. How do you care for this child? Oh, I work here only Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays. I come here for 12 hours. Do you see? Actually, I know all about the care of my patient, and that's the time that I'm here. And I know I take the patient from mom, and I give back to mom. All other kids, actually, they're not home. I don't know anything about the other kids because I concentrate most of the time on my patient. Does mom go? I work for Serenity, and I really think you should call the supervisor. Her name is this, and this is her number. Then all the information will be emailed to you, whatever. Short question. I'm not asking too much. Oh, did you know this? Because believe me, those DSCC, every little thing you said, they record. That is coming back on you. And you know what? They will repeat it, and the mother will know who said it to them, or the father will know who said what. Now, you don't want to be caught up in that stuff. You do not want to, because it becomes a mess. Like, I said what I need to say, and that's it. Oh, did you know this and this and this? I don't know. And I was looking at the time. Is it okay if I leave now? Because my shift is almost done. It's okay if you need any other thing. This is my name. This is you can ask my agency. And you're done. Next time they would know. You always think about the legal aspect of everything when you're working as a nurse. Because you can get caught up in what you don't need to be there. So please, guys, be careful. Be careful what you tell those. Another home, it was last year, maybe earlier this year. Excellent nurse. I don't have that nurse working with us anymore. Excellent nurse. Got into it with the mother. Oh, I'm that. Oh, I used to go to school. Did you know I got raped? Did you know that when they raped me, I got herpes from it? Why are you telling parents your business? Why? Your business is your business. When I come, you're not my friend. I work for you in your home to care for your child. I will be nice to you, we'll be nice to each other, but some talking, I'll listen to your problem, but I don't have any. I'm rich, I'm all that. I got it going on. That's all you're going to know. The positive about me, you will know. But the negative aspect of it, you're not going to give it. Because that's my business. But when you tell them that, the nurse went and said how much she was raped, and she got raped, and she got herpes. 2 weeks after that, the child has some rashes, some antifungal rashes. She started freaking out. Oh, the nurse has herpes. She gave it to my son. Then I'm sitting down. I got a lot of work to do. I'm like, God damn, I have to start all this paperwork again. Nurses needs to be careful. Nurses needs to be careful. You will get caught up in a whole lot of nonsense that is not worth it. Then she said, oh, maybe she got hate. Maybe she got this. Maybe she's this. And this mother is not a nurse. So she was freaking out real bad. I had to leave. And this is like 2 hours drive to me. Leave and go to this home. Calm her down. Talk to the nurse. Talk to mom. Call the SCC. It was just a long that we should be looking for money. And it was just like she said, he said. You don't want to get yourself involved in all that. It's really not worth it. So that's why we encourage nurses. Keep your story to yourself. Don't get too deep into those parents. They listen to everything. And the SCC call them every month to follow up. How you like your shift? How you like this? How you like that? Do you like your staffing now? Are they staffing you? Do you have? Or they call them every month. And they will tell them, believe me, some people are bored. As soon as the SCC call, they start talking. They start telling them stuff. The less you talk, but those parents tell them something, they will call the agency. We found this out, we found this out. I didn't get nothing from my nurse. I will do an investigation from now on, and I will get back to you. That nurse just got into investigation, I have to check this, check that. If anything is true, then the nurse have to, do we need that? No, we don't. That's why I tell nurses, please be careful. Payroll deadline, they talk to you about that. Sleeping on duty, abuse and neglect. Trust me. Trust me. We all know that. Abuse. You can't abuse no patient in any way. And you cannot be abused. Like I said earlier, nurses that have been threatened on their license, their life, abuse or no abuse, we out. Agency will lose the money. We out, because I would rather let the nurse be safe than to make some money and lose my nurse to an abuse. No. It doesn't work like that. Out. And you cannot abuse them either. So please, let's be careful. And it doesn't even, as a mandatory reporter, it doesn't have to be abusive to your patient. It could be to any other person, children in that home. You need to identify, because you are licensed nurses. You need to identify it and report quick before this. I will lose that job because the mother will say, I don't want that Patricia no more because she a snitch. That's okay. But I'm saving that child that you're abusing. It's better for me. That's different. But okay, you have a child, you're taking care of a child, father and mother. Tell me who doesn't fight? Husband and wife fight? Even your tongue, like my mother said, your tongue and your teeth, they fight. You bite yourself when you're eating a good food, don't you? They're fighting at that time. But after a while, you feel better. They're now friends. So everybody has their own. If I open my closet, you're going to say, wow. If you open your closet, you have a lot of hidden stuff, right? Everybody has their own problems in life. So does all this family. So when we go over there and husband and wife are arguing, and they're doing all they just argue, they have the right to argue. What is your business to start calling everybody? Oh, you know what? They were talking. Did you know the father did this? Did you know this? Come on. Come on. Let's just cut it out. We don't need that. Leave them alone. If they are fighting, like if we come to the physical, like the father is hurting the mother, you might want to go in the room with your child and call 911 for them. I'll do that. That is, I will make sure that it's beyond what we, but if it's only argument, that they're arguing, and it's just like, I take my bag, I'm going out, they're calling each other names and all that, so what? So what? What is the business of the nurse? You are there to care for the child, leave them alone. Then the next thing they call this, they call that, and it becomes a more story, it becomes more. It goes beyond what you expect. Now the father is mad. You have to be nurse over there, is the one that went and called this, and called the police, and called, it becomes a big problem. Sometimes I tell nurses, just call just agency. You know, what should I do in this situation? You want to listen to what father is saying? Sometimes I listen, sometimes some people will come and I'm listening. And I say, no, I don't think they're hurting themselves, they're just talking. So why don't you go in the room with your, when they see you grab the child from the living room where the argument was, go inside the room, you're telling them something. I don't want to be involved in this. And they don't want that either, they will kind of calm down. And if they're talking, they want you to get involved and you didn't say nothing. Just stand right there. Don't say nothing. Just take your child, go inside. They will grab it and say, this nurse is not talking. We don't want her to go report us. They will calm down. They said action speaks louder than voice. So your action to them, they will know. But I don't have to call my girlfriend. That's HIPAA. Now you're talking about what happened in the home. That's HIPAA right there. Their business is their business. Don't take it now. The only one you can talk to is the people that are involved in the care. And who is just the agency. Not even the scheduler, the nursing agency, who happens to be the supervisors. You call the supervisor, like the agent, the scheduler, they know something. When you call the scheduler and start talking about other things medical, they will stop you right there and they will tell you that, oh no, I'll have this part call you. Because that's beyond them. They are schedulers, intake. But when you're telling them, mom said I should use, mom said, they don't know what you're saying, they don't know anything about that. That has to come to the supervisor to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So please guys, let's patient confidentiality. We've talked about HIPAA already. We all know about HIPAA. That's the same thing. Keep our business to our business. Don't expose it everywhere. We don't need, we have our own issue. We don't have to be, try to, protect patient confidentiality. Chatting non-compliant. They talked about that too. Verbal, physical, emotional abuse of patient, families, of staff. We talked about too. We just talked about it. And please, next slide. Nurse attitude and professionalism, of course. We said about the professional. We said that earlier. Nurse bullying client and threatening to abandon cases. Yeah, that's one. Can I please sit down? Because I kind of like feel tired. It's like I'm dizzy. So, nurse bullying staff. I've seen that many, many times. Nurse, you know that this parent needs you so bad. Then you say, I don't want this case. I have a nurse, present nurse right now. That's all she does. I don't want this case. Take me off this case. I don't want it to do anymore. All the time. At first, I needed you, and on this case. But when you tell me you don't want this case, so I say, you know what? Put this case on the list. I'll find another nurse. That's when the nurse start coming to work every night. Never miss one. So I'm like, you want the case? What is it? How can you tell me you want to be off of this case? Every little time, every little simple thing. And guess what? We go to the house, you're talking about nurse B, nurse D. What is your business with these people? The nurse coming in the morning, she's working 7 to 7. You working 7 to 7 nighttime. Why don't you manage what is on nighttime? Why are you involved in what the morning nurse doing? If you feel the morning nurse is doing something wrong, why don't you bring it to the agency? Why are you bringing it to the mom? So mom can kick the nurse out so you can take the shift? I don't understand. And I don't sugarcoat. I come out to you straight. I know what you're doing in this home, and it's not gonna work. If mom wants to go with you to another agency, so be it. You are not gonna pull this nurse out because it's not fair. Because you are in this nurse business, telling her about she did not clean this, she did not clean that. Did you clean your own? When you clean yours, be gone. If you feel the nurse is not doing, the nurse did not wear mask. She came in there, she did, what is your business? And when you want to complain, you're complaining to the mom. Do you think the mom will like the nurse? No. She's going to now check things she doesn't check before. Oh yeah, she came in here, she didn't get that. Oh, she touched my son anyhow. Oh, she's putting my son that. Now she's looking because you put her to be doing that. We are supposed to work with each other, cover each other. You can call your nurse to decide what you did just now. You should do it like that. This mom will do this, this mom will do that. I think that's good. But for you to go, as soon as the nurse leaves, then you start talking about that nurse to that mom. That's not fair. That is not nice. That is not showing that you are a good nurse. Mom can be complaining, talking about the other nurse. You, as a professional nurse, needs to be there to calm that mom down. In a way, in a style, not to add to it. Then you can call the agency. You need to talk to this nurse. This is what I heard, this is what I heard. Try to kind of like fix it. That's going to be between the agency and you. And I will see you as a great nurse trying to make it work. Not my mom will call me. You know what, I don't want that nurse that came in the morning. She do this, she do that, she did it, she did. The trouble starts. But by the time I'm doing my investigation, I'll find out it's the nurse who's threatening that she doesn't want to work anymore. But later on find out I want to switch my shift to morning shift. Oh, now we know where that's coming from. You want that morning shift, so you want to get rid of her to be gone so you can take that morning shift. I'm sorry. I have another case for you. You either take that case, you can walk, it's okay. Thank God, the owners of this company, whatever decision I make, we go along with it. Because if you're so desperate, why are we going to hurt this nurse to satisfy the nurse that is disturbing other people? You might as well be gone, it's okay. So please, nurses, that is not fair and we cannot go along with it. Poor hygiene, I'm not going to talk about that. Inappropriate dress, we talked about inappropriate dress, tank top and all that. Be professional when you go to the house. Poor hygiene, all of us we don't have that problem. I know everyone so far, we do not have that problem. Maybe they can tell that to homemaker. I refuse to tell because my personality, I don't like it when they put wash your hands in the bathroom. It bothers me. When I see that wash your hand after use, I hate it. I can't stand it. And they say, why are you telling me to wash my hands? I don't like it. And I will not talk to any nurse like that. Like poor hygiene. After all we've been through, before we get a license in this country, and you tell me to wash my hands? No, I don't like that. I feel it's offensive to me, so I will not talk about that. Nurse, bring in unnecessary, unused, I've talked about that earlier. You go to a patient's home, you're taking your slippers there. Yes, I understand that the mom doesn't want you to wear the strict shoe, but you bring your house slippers, which is okay, one of those fluffy ones. But when you're going home, take your stuff with you. That's not your home. But nurses will have their own special, don't touch it, it's gonna be right there. They took over the home. That's not your house. Take your stuff home, your food that you brought, eat, enjoy your food. But when you are leaving, carry the rest, go home. This is not your house. Don't say this is the part of my fridge. It's true, I've seen it. Nurses will say, this is my side because the fridge is dirty. So I'm gonna keep this side for myself. Honey, you are only here 5 days a week, come on. This is not your home. Are you forgetting that? You work here. Trust me, and she'll be arguing in front of the mom, and I'm supposed to go along with it the way she's saying. And I'm looking at the nurse like, okay, okay, but this is the address for the patient. She said, yes. I said, so why do you have a fridge here? Why do you want to keep their fridge? What happened? No, because I work here 5 days a week. And let me tell you, Patricia, I have to keep my stuff. I'm like, okay, you want to keep your stuff. I understand that from 7 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock. Please, let's stop right here. You don't leave here. You don't. Please, come on. We're not even going to discuss this in front of this mom. We're going to talk about this later, please. But for now, mom, the nurse is going to be taking our food home, and she will finish and she will take the rest home. I understand she wants to eat the next day, but she will take it home. I'm sorry for what's going on, so we're going to fix it. And then I will talk to the nurse behind. Like, seriously? You talking like this in front of the mom? Come on now. It's not that serious. No, because she's too nasty. She don't keep her fridge now. And I'm not going to put my feet. That's her fridge. Attendance, violation, tardiness, schedule overlapping, switching. She spoke about that already. And I spoke about it too. Arrangement with family. Yes, any arrangement with family. Yes, I need to quickly explain that. Mom has 10,000 a month. We know the amount of hour. We have the formula that we use to calculate the hours, weekly hour. And we tell you, you only have 60 hours. You okay? We have 60 hours. And you went and talked to mom behind, and mom said, oh, you know what, Patricia, can you come Saturday and work for me? You made that arrangement.
She's not okay.
She's not okay.
It's done. Violation of late charging policy. They got that. They talked to us about that. That's it. Switching hours. Like I said, I was talking about mom has hours. Maybe if you don't involve the agency in any side business you are doing, you go and work. It's work for free. You need to call agent. Mom said, can you work on Saturday for me? Call agency. Let them figure it out. Oh, she doesn't have enough hours. Oh, she does have hours. It's okay. You can work. Get confirmation by test. Because if they are ready to pay and there's no money, oh, but she told me to work on Saturday, and you know what? I think I just want, oh, well, you work on Saturday, okay, nobody said anything. You work, free work, you just want to do salvation. Well, you know, we're always confirmed. Please don't go and do any side work with any patient, and you don't. Nurse meddling with domestic fight or gossiping in the home, or what's that? Is it meddling? Okay, yeah. Nurse, I said that earlier. Get it out of the people's business. Nurse leaving child in distress to run errands. Wow, that happened. Those are the things that when you see things that we put in there, those are the things that happens that we've seen. That's why we're saying it out. Nurse going out. You're going. There's a nurse that, of course, she was smoking. She wants to smoke, so she wants to just take it 1 second. Just she went outside, just put her leg to the door. Want to finish the smoke. This is the apartment. The apartment, the door is here. So she went out and she was smoking for some reason. I don't know what happened. She got herself outside and she got locked outside. And the child is inside. Wow. So you can imagine calling. I guess she tried so hard, thinking somebody will come from the building. Nobody came. The child is in there by herself, by himself. And you're supposed to be the nurse. Now she called me. I said, aha. What happened? Oh, I went to get some paper from my car. You went to your car? To do what? But little does she know that we are going, because by investigation, I had to call the building manager and tell them I have a child nurse outside, locked outside. Mom is at work. It's going to take mom another 20 minutes to be home. That door needs to be opened. The guy was like, they're not going to open it. I'm like, you're not going to open it? Okay, I'll call 911. They can break it down in a few minutes. This is a child in there, and the nurse is locked outside. We would deal with the nurse locking outside, but right now you need to open the door. It's as simple as there's nothing nowhere around it. What's your name, sir? So I can tell 911 you're not going to open it because that's wasting taxpayers' money. When you are the agent, you can call mom and confirm or open that door. Which immediately he went and opened. After, of course, my conversation with him, he opened the door, the nurse went in. So I told the guy, please, I need you have a camera in front of your bill. I need to know what happened. So then now they call us back. The nurse was standing there smoking. And she was like that because the camera was there, she was like this. Why do you put yourself in a situation like that? Why? Don't take a case where you know you can be there by yourself. Take a case where you can give report. You have any hour you are working, you have 30 minutes break. Ma'am, I need to take a break. I went to a walk, I walk nights. I love walking nights. I walk nights in this country for 27 years. I went to walk, and when I got there, the child that I take care of, my eyes, you know how sometimes you can close your, I can't even open it. But I want to, nurses, they want to, I lose it to 12 hours, it's a lot. I can't live to 10 hours, whatever. But I said, I can't, God, I'm going to sleep tonight. Wow, this is, so we got to, like, I tried up to 1 o'clock. When it was like 10 minutes to 1, I know I'm ready to sleep. I don't care what this child is doing. So I called Mom, with all due respect, I love to help you, but I can't. I'm not good to your child. I feel like sleeping real bad. If you give me till 2 o'clock, I'm going to be sleeping. I need to think. The mom said, oh, you know what? Would you rather let me stay here and sleep and don't watch this child? It's going to be unattended. And that's not for my license. I need to go. So I called agency. I tested. You see, I just told Mom I need to go. I can't make it. I can't make it till morning because I don't like sleeping. I want to know what's going on in my patient. So I said, no, I can't. But today, I've been doing it before. I don't know why I can't. It's like I took a sleeping pill. I want to go. And no agency will stop me from going when this is my license. I said to you, I'm not walking. I can't walk. So I left. I slept in my car for 2 hours before I drove home. When I got in my car, I went to chair, I just slept in front of their house. And she told agency, I saw her sleeping in the car. I said, of course I told you I'm not walking. I can't walk. I can't even drive because I'm going to endanger myself. But it's my body. If you already walk, your body will shut down on you sometimes. So why are you hanging in there just to make that 12 hours that is going to make you kill somebody's child? Because if anything happens to that child, it's on my license. Because I'm looking for some amount, so be careful, please. Very dangerous. Medication and soliciting, what's that? Babysitting, oh yeah, that part. Babysitting, those parents do that to you. They have other small kids. You are not by law taking care of that kid. Mom wants to go to the laundry, whatever, down. I just want to get my laundry. They have a way to tell you what they want to go do right quick. And if you refuse it, you might not be their friends anymore. But don't you want to rather don't be their friend than for them to leave your child? Because guess what? That child, you don't know anything about that child. The child now, as soon as mom gone, child started having seizure. You call 911. Who are you to tell about another child? Is that what you are there for? How do you give report about this child? Then you would look like somebody, you would look stupid. Like, if anything happens to that child, your license is on the line. But these parents, they are very smart. They know you're not going to accept. But they know you are in the room with your client. They will leave that child in another room. And you don't have any idea the child was left alone in the home. You just happen to be, go to the bathroom, and you see the child, 10-year-old, maybe 5-year-old. Oh, where's your mom? You should say, she don't go outside. She outside. I said, she's outside. Who are you here with? Nobody? I'm okay. Okay, I called the mom right away. There's a protocol to everything. I'll call the mom right away. I don't feel comfortable staying in your home because you have a child in my home. I'm sorry, with all due respect. If you don't get in here in another 10 minutes, I will have to call 911 to hand over your child. That's what the law says. I will hand over my patient and I'm gone. I will hand over 10 minutes I'm giving you to be back in here because this is my license. To us, it's no big deal. I don't want to hurt the mother. We do good things for them. But when it's your turn, they will turn on you. There's no doubt about it. They'll turn on you. I'm scared. I don't like to. I know I'm going to retire. I'm going close to it. But I don't want to lose my license. I want to keep it. Because you see mama still walking. I want to be like that too. Take a couple days. But I don't want to lose it. It's not something I want. And you know what? Devil works in mysterious ways too. The day that you are going to do this is when something will happen. So be strict. Let those parents know, I love working for you. I love this, but I'm sorry. You can't leave a child. Please be home. Or I will. And nurse, you walk in and you know what? You know that your plan of care says trained caregivers are 7 people. If those trained caregivers are not there, I'm not giving to your brother that is not on the paper. I'm not. Period. There's no way around it. I'm not. It says trained caregiver. And this man in your home is not a trained caregiver. Why should I give report to him? Why should he be signing my paper? No. That's not what it said. You have to be here. And if you're not there, I will do it. If it becomes a pattern, involve the agency. If I involve the agency, then I will let the agency call the DSCC. Let them know what's going on in this home. This man needs to reach out to. And if you don't want us, adios. Other patient out there. You know how many people need help? We have a lot of patients, right? That we send it to you every day. A lot of kids are out there and there's nurses that we can't even open them. They need help all over the place. A lot of kids. So why should I stay with one person that's going to cause me trouble? Why should I stay with one that's going to put us in trouble? You move on to the other person. Maybe you are not there in the right place yet. So please, I'm saying it now. Be careful, because that time I will try my best to solve the trouble, but there are certain things that we can't help. The state knows about it, and it's going to affect your license. We have different types of problems out there. If you don't understand, you can ask. Medication error, we talked about it. Soliciting pregnant for own business gains. I don't know. You're selling them stuff, you do all that stuff. I don't even do it. Nurse living in custody of non-trained. Okay, yes, I've talked about that. If you're not a trained caregiver, I'm not giving it to you. Nurse using equipment on her thermometer, blood pressure. Yeah, this one happened. I think this one is about a nurse that came in, you know, during the COVID, we tell you to check your temperature, right? Before you go in, that's the normal thing. When I go to anybody's home, I check my temperature and I show it to the parent. I have 97.6, I'm cool. I can come in. Sometimes I say, I'll check yours too, but I can't be saving you, you need to save me. So I'll check mom too. It goes both ways. If I'm saving you, why can't you save me? I will check your mom too. I'll check the babysitter, check everybody. You witnessed me before. I want to check everybody. You want to question us? Have you taken vaccine? I say, well, where's your license too? Did you take one too? I'm sorry. You want mine? I want yours too. Because I'm human too, right? So it should be the nurses only showing them. You show us yours. It works both ways. But then this nurse wants to check our temperature. She went and used the child's thermometer. Tell me now, come on. The child's thermometer in front of 7 people standing there. All this life tech, everybody's there. You grab the child and you put it on. Why? Why? Since you don't have yours, please don't use their child's thermometer. And the mom started now, and you know, you have some mom, they understand. Some mom, they just go out of whack. The next thing I know, DSCC is aware, everybody is aware. Oh, she coming here touching my baby stuff. I'm like, oh, come on. What's the problem now? She made a mistake. Why does she have to lose license over that? Then we have to write the nurse up, we have to question the nurse, we have to, you know, just be careful. Don't put yourself in a situation whereby they will be questioning you. Medication error, we talked about medication. Respect families' religion and spiritual belief. That's right, respect them. Spiritual belief. We are Muslim, we don't eat meat here, you bring pork here. Different types of things like that. Some parents say your food, I hear that a lot. Your African food smells a lot, you can bring it up in here. Of course, the African food smells, Indian food smells. They got garlic in it, but am I going to tell don't eat your food? But this is my house, you can't eat your food. They have the right to tell us that. Me as a nurse, I want to eat. If I can't eat any other food that's not going to smell, I'll call the agency. Can you find me another case? I don't think this is suitable for me. Because I want to eat my rice and gari and all that stuff. And you want to eat your chapati and all that stuff. And if it's not good for the client has the right to say don't bring it in. And you have the right to look for another agent, another case. We all have rights. Stress your right, she'll stress her right. And I'll call the parent and say, unfortunately the nurse said she likes to eat her bangari and all the stuff that she eats and it smells. Yes, of course, they put some locust beans in it and it smells real bad. I understand you're smelling that you don't want it, but the nurse, we're in the process of finding the nurse another case. Are you able to give the nurse another 1 day or 2 days until we find out cases to leave? Or what do you want to do? It's up to you. No, she doesn't have to come back tomorrow. That's fine. Good. You don't have to give 2 weeks notice. Goodbye. That's it. We call it quit. Mother will take care of the child. We find another nurse for the child, and the nurse will find another case. In many cases, we find case right away. The nurse got to go to another place the next day, and that's it. So both of us have rights. We're just stressing our right. Do not discipline siblings in the whole Jesus. A sister is coming to the nurse all the time, playing with this nurse. and she's just too rough a little bit. They not just go, go away. African nurses will do that. African nurses, they will do that. Because when the boy is getting all hysterical with you and all, they just stop. We're bound. You see this African people when they do like that. They're, stop it. And trust me, mom gets mad, it becomes a trouble. I don't discipline no one at home because you are not my child. I don't know you like that. I'm only here for this child. So if the siblings are coming to disturb, you call the attention of mom. I'm not able to do my work around your home. Your family are coming, they are just disturbing, it's not convenient for me. Can you please talk to them so they can make it easy for us? See, it doesn't hurt. A lot of cases are out there. I would rather drive 1 hour to a good case than to drive 10 minutes to a bad case. Yeah. Bottom line, I will just leave your case. It's not a big deal. Goodbye, bye, and we're done. I'll find a better one. But for me, for you to put me in trouble, a nurse took a case. The boy, all the time, pow, slapping the nurse. The nurse took it in all the time. It's a psych issue. Took it in. It's not the fault of the boy, right? But there's a day that it got to go. Maybe the nurse woke up at the wrong side of the bed. The nurse went to work as a normal day. She's used to all that behavioral issue. This day, the boy just go pow to the wrong place. She just go pow. pow. She, camera right there, you forgot? She went like that. Like two, thank God that, of course, it took her what, 6 months to get a license back? But she got in trouble. Start working as a CNA until they release that license. Do you need that? The very first day the boy slapped me, I ain't coming no more. If you can't handle it, I'm not coming no more. Agency, can you find me somebody else, please? I'm sorry. I'll stay home for the next 2 days. Find me somebody. I'm not going there. Because that boy is very, very too much for me. That way you're fine. You don't get yourself in a situation like that. Be careful. Do not, okay, sleeping on duty, of course. We've seen that before. You sleeping on the couch. You working 7 to 4. What are you sleeping for? Who asked you to work 12 to 12, some other company? And you come to this one, 7 to 4, and you are sleeping. I can understand those night shift people. When they sleep, sometimes I look at the situation. Family said I want all lights shut off. I don't want lights, right? The nurse is right there on the floor with the baby. I've done it before. I have a child, she doesn't sleep she sleeps on the floor. So we all go to this floor with the vent going like this. So I'm supposed to be watching the vent. Many times I find myself sleeping because there's no light, everything is shut off. So I tell mom, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this sleeping. When I sleep, mom doesn't care. I care. Because the fact that I sleep, I don't know if the water is going to go in the tray. Because I doze off, the light is gone. And you want the child to sleep good. What about me then? I left the case. I'm sorry. Until she starts, if she sleeps in the bed, it's better. At least I'll be able to adjust her to me. And I know for sure she's fine. And I can sit in the chair. I can't even stop because I can't even do anything. She's on the bed and she's one of those like this kids. So it's hard. It was really hard then. Look at your situation and walk like that. Don't just put yourself in a situation whereby you can get in trouble. It's really, and when you sleep, goodbye, termination. And I want this case. They will report to the state. It's a long line. You have to do some paperwork, disciplinary action. It's a lot of trouble just to cover that nurse so that I don't get the nurse in any trouble. So please, ladies, let's just do it the right way. I believe that what we've done today will at least put us where we need to be. Don't get too much involved in parents' business. Yes, they have a cancer, mother is in a problem, whatever. Sympathize, empathy with them, but please don't get yourself in it. As soon as they start talking to anyone, oh, but Patricia did this, and then you finally say that, what my business with your family? What did I say? And you will be in it. The parents have the right to put cameras in their home. They do have the right, but they have the right to let you know. You have the right to know that there's someone is watching you. And if you know you believe in yourself, why do you care about camera? Just do your work. Many times I've been on the camera, I didn't know. I find myself rolling on the floor because I make myself a clown to this girl because she never smiles. She's always just yanking everything out. So I'm over there rolling on the floor, just doing my thing with the guy. I didn't know there's a camera watching me. It took me a month to realize that. but the girl, she doesn't smile. But when I'm doing all those crazy things, she's smiling. So the mother came one day and said, "My God, Patricia, what are you doing? Did you know she never, I can't believe that she smiled." So everything, she will yank all this out. So don't you yank anything out. Don't you take anything out. Then when I do this, she goes, "Wow," she's laughing, she's cracking up like, then I'm on the floor, we're playing together. The mama says she never played with anybody. So I said, "How you know all that?" This is something we have a routine in the morning. What's the problem? She goes, "Patricia, I see you every morning, all the comedy you do." I'm like, "You see me every morning? Where at?" She said, "Right there in that corner." I said, "God damn. You looking at me all this while?" And you didn't say a word. He was right there. They have a one of those flowers, and he was right behind the flower, looking through them. I said, "But you didn't tell me. You know I can sue you there." She said, "I know you ain't go." So I said, "I can sue you. That's just the way I can sue you. You can't be looking at me for 1 month. Did you even tell the agency you have a camera in the house? You did not." That's why when I go to the home to open cases, I ask now because of what I asked them. I need to know, do you have a camera? Where are your cameras? I need to know to tell my nurses. They need to know. I'm not going to keep a nurse in your home, but they have the right to have a camera, and they have the right to and you have the right to know about it. And if you did see that they have a camera, they never sell, you have the right to say you don't want the case anymore, and we can find you another case. So guys, I appreciate you coming. We're going to have another in-service. It's supposed to be 4 hours. This is a paid in-service. So you see this paper right here? Please make sure we get it back. All the funds that we give you, let's have it back. This is very important to show your participation in this. Very, very important. We need it back. Let's form you initially to sign it, and you return it back to those ladies. Or I can take it myself too. The envelope, the ones that we give this envelope to, if you look at it, your reminders are there. And inside are the papers that we need. Please, let's have it back. No, me.
No, the one who's getting about this one. Yeah.
We should give it to direct deposit.
Should we give it to? No. All with with the chart.
Yeah, those are very important.
You don't have it in your file. It's not in your file. Okay. This is your